the Bastard Sermon.
Welcome to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. This is one of your three hosts, Cody Hucker,
Patrick Seta,
and Luke Young. And this week we've got on Sophorn Long.
Woo! Woo!
Hello.
Hello. And of course, young Rachel.
Hey.
Hey. She's on every episode.
Isn't it Water Hag Rachel?
Hold the fuck on,
Yeah.
bud.
Yeah.
Woo! You're underselling
Yeah.
young Rachel, dude.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Oh yeah, and here's Rachel.
Yeah, so, well, she's
welcome
here.
back.
Here's this shitty stray dog we let in the house for
So, I wanted to start off the video today with something kind of gross.
As always.
So, have you ever had a bug in your hair?
Yes, I actually have dreads, so they there's times where they get stuck in it. And it's a fucking situation.
Like what, a cicada? Or you've got like, what gets in your hair? Like
One
a
time I
spider?
had a cicada get in my hair, and it was in my dreads, and we were in the car, and it was like blowing in the wind. And basically, we were just sitting there, and we kept looking for this bug, and then all of a sudden, my friend's like, it's in your fucking hair, and I was freaking out, and they started like crunching all of my hair, and it was just...
And being scared that one of those...
squish it? Yeah,
You were
in your hair?
You were scared for a crunch beyond the dreads, thinking it was going to be a bug that was getting crunched.
Yeah.
Huh?
It was awful.
Patrick, didn't you used to wake up with like roaches on
Oh
your
my
chest
god,
and
we
shit?
should talk about infestations. Let me show you this video real quick of this nasty shit. So basically in this video, what's happening is that someone's filming the back of someone's head in a car. There's no
Good
sound,
Lord.
unfortunately.
Is this like...
Someone
Are
has-
those fucking bugs?
Oh my god!
They're roaches. They're
Oh my
cockroaches.
fucking god.
And they're crawling through the back of this woman's hair.
Oh my
They're
god.
behind.
Lord.
Someone
She
is
has-
clearly behind her on a
She has no
bus.
fucking idea. That's
she-
fucking nasty.
She's
Oh,
a
that's
living
awful.
hive.
So I used to live in this house. It was a 2-bedroom house that had 15 people living in it. And I was stuck there because I was living on the lease. Some crazy times, of course, happened, but we lived through 2 nasty infestations. And I had really long black hair back then. I'm talking like past my shoulders. And we had a bad roach infestation. And I remember they were so bad that sometimes I'd wake up to a little tickle in my hair. And I get up and I feel through it, and there was 2 cockroaches in my hair. It was fucking disgusting. No, these weren't the regular cockroaches that you're thinking, like in that video we just saw, where they're like the size of a penny or whatever, or a quarter. But these ones are very small. They're like the size of your fingernail, and they travel in little packs, like fucking little wild
burrow
dogs.
Can they burrow inside your ears and get
Yeah.
stuck? I've heard about people having to go to the hospital
God.
and having like, they would hear like itching in their ear, and they would just feel something, and they would hear like like inside of their ear. They're like, what the fuck is that? Then they go to the hospital, and then they have like a fat old roach just getting plucked out of
It's
their
not
ear.
only roaches. Do you know what an earwig is?
Yeah.
We had an infestation of those too. So earwigs are basically they look like little lightning bugs that don't light up, but they have big pincers on their asses. And they were crawling all over our floor, and I got rid of them pretty quick. But let me tell you how nasty these infestations would get, because I was the only one in the house of 15 people that tried to do something about this. And this was a straight party house.
Whose fucking idea was it to let 15 people in a 2-bedroom?
How else are they going to fucking afford a house?
I
You know
will
what
say
mean?
rent was like $60 a month. That was pretty fucking nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you had to fucking live with roaches. I would much rather pay $600 or more
Absolutely.
to not live with roaches.
110%.
It's just not worth it.
Well, here's the thing. I signed a lease that I couldn't afford to buy myself out. I was working at Penn Station at the time, to tell you where I was doing for work. And basically, I was the only one in the house that would clean up everything. And I had all these people live there just because it was the first place I ever lived at. I didn't look at the place before I signed the lease. The roach and earwig infestation didn't start there. It's because our roommates were nasty and they didn't clean up after themselves. So they leave like McDonald's cans and shit all over the, you know what I mean? McDonald's glasses and
Dude,
shit
that
all
makes
over
my
the place.
butthole tight.
Oh, it made
It's
me.
making everyone's butthole tight right now. I'm just
So
looking
let me
at
tell you how bad it got. So basically,
Hold on, it gets worse than roaches and earwigs, bud.
no, it's about the roaches. Basically, they'd be just so bad that you sit on the couch, they'd crawl on your shoulder. And then, like, if we went into our like area where we get our toothbrushes out, in the mirror in the bathroom, when you open that up, we'd see them crawling all over the place. So I'm like, oh my God, we need to do something about this. I cannot be the only one doing something about this.
How long did you live there?
A year. It was a year. It was just a year long.
I would be escorting people.
And it
out
In
the
a year, they
fucking
had
door,
two
bud.
separate infestations. Within a year, two separate
Yeah.
bug infestations.
We got
That
rid of
is
them, though.
Crazy.
We got rid of
Well,
them.
they had 15 fucking people living in. How
Yeah.
many bedroom house was
a
this?
2-bedroom, and I the only room
Oh my
in the
God.
house.
Where did everyone sleep?
How many bathrooms was in this
I can get
shithole?
into it.
The
So
floor and on top
Wait,
of
wait,
each
wait.
other.
I'll get into the way the structure of the building is because it is very interesting. And
But hold
very
on, let me
trashy.
tell you about bed bugs first.
So I said, I cannot be the only one doing something about this. So I get all the girls that were living in the house at the time, and I said, hey, I need your help. No one else is helping. I need to show you something. Because every time you would open that door or the mirror in the bathroom, there'd be a roach that'd scurry away. So what happens is that they'll go on your toothbrush, they'll eat the stuff off your toothbrush, and they shit at the same time that they eat. So they'll shit all over your toothbrush, and you're brushing your teeth with this shitty cockroach shit toothbrush paste.
Here's my question, because I'm guessing you took so. How did they not notice it? If that happened every time,
They were ignorant. They were ignorant of it
they-
and denial kind of thing. Like they just didn't. They wanted to avoid the problem. So when I took
There
care,
are
they
some
thought that they
crusty
thought I would
people
pay
like
for it
that.
all. Yeah. So when I got all the girls to come together, I'm like, look, I guarantee there'll be a cockroach in this mirror cabinet as soon as I open it. I open it, and there's like 10 of them fucking. So they're all connected to their butts, and they're scurrying all over the place, and the ones in the back are all over the place too, and we're like, oh my God. So they did something about it, and we got rid of them at that time. But the reason we got that, besides them being a mess, is that our neighbor had a bad infestation. I guess they just came over. But we also had a bunch of weird-ass lizards that would get in people's beds too.
Hold on,
Don't-
dude.
Yeah.
You're having reptilians take over your fucking living space.
It was
guy.
a rare time.
Dude, I
It
would
was an
be
interesting time.
throwing hands with anybody who brought in McDonald's. Like if I see that garbage tomorrow, we're throwing hands.
It was weird, dude. The floor was.
And if you lose,
so let me
you're
tell
out.
you about this fucked up little house. All
Did
right,
those
so
girls never brush their teeth? I'm still stuck
I
on
don't
this.
know.
There-
I put
Like, how
myself
did
in
they
a
not
bag.
open it up
People
and
were
notice?
brushing their teeth. They were not noticing.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, I don't give a shit about their dentistry.
They were
I brushed
fucked.
my teeth.
They were
Clearly.
fucked.
Yeah, it was some fucked up, nasty shit. So let me give you a little walkthrough of the house. So basically, there's an attic, a main floor, and the only bathroom in this house is in the second bedroom.
What the fuck? What the fuck? Why?
Who structured this fucking house?
I don't know. The floor
So
is just
who
boards.
lives? Hold on. Who lives in the second bedroom where the only bathroom is?
Well,
12 people in this
so
room.
the thing is only one bedroom was being used. The other bedroom was a second family room where we played all of our music and practice. So it
Is
filled
that where
with
the
musical gear.
is that where the
was?
bathroom was? Though, very important question.
Yeah, that's where the bathroom
Okay,
was.
because I didn't know if it was somebody's like 3 people's living quarters, and then like every time somebody has to take a shit, they have to like trample over sleeping bags full of people and pass out drunk people in cases of beer.
So-
Because I imagine this house just has beer cans all over the floor. You guys don't even know how trash cans work
it's
at
horrible.
this point.
It's horrible, dude. I tried cleaning up, but I'm not going to clean up after everyone, So you got to. That's why I had to put my cross the line.
So where
stick
did
my-
everyone sleep?
So there was a couple that lived in the one bedroom, which was to the main entrance family room, and had no door. I had the only door in this whole place, and I lived in the basement. And I lived in a room where basically it was a cardboard wall in between the outside.
Hold on.
Was it a door
Hold
that
on.
you made out of the cardboard?
You constructed a fucking shanty town in your house to have to live in your own fucking house?
God, this makes it sound so
Lord.
much
A
worse.
cardboard shanty
No, it
house,
does
and the
sound
only
horrible.
way.
There's only one bedroom, and you still have to account. You can so there's two. There's
So,
3 people gone.
Let me explain.
Did- hold on,
15 people
Patrick.
live there.
Did you have to fight a cockroach boss to get to the bathroom every time?
Where did the 12 other people
He got
sleep?
1200 EXP every time you defeated him.
It's fucking Dark Souls to get to my bathroom, dude.
So there's 12 unaccounted for people.
So yeah, let me get to it. So there's 2 people that go into that main room that is right off to the family room. They get that room, and it's the only room with a window too.
This shit is making my palms sweat just from...
So
It's the only room with a window.
besides
in
the
whole
kitchen,
house?
besides the kitchen,
What?
You're
The house
living
had
in a
2
prison.
windows?
dude, I wish I had a picture of this place. It looks like a Lego brick. It's like a yellow Lego brick house.
You were living in a prison.
And it was right off West 8th Street, if you're familiar with
Oh,
that.
God.
Absolutely.
Oh, no.
It's a 15-mile stretch of street called Wells. But I mean, I've had some good memories there. Brad and I were on Tosh.0. I don't know if I ever told that story in the podcast.
No, you've never told that. Pull that video up immediately. What
Well,
the
the
fuck?
thing is, I don't have a video, but I can tell you what happened.
Were
I
you
never
on
find
there,
it.
or did you see
I
the
filmed. I was
shooting
filming
of?
it. I was filming it. It was Brad Hester that was on the video.
What
you can
was
always
it of?
message him. So basically, oh man, I'm totally missing the whole story that I was starting out with.
It's all
But
right.
anyways,
we
let
always
me
do
tell you
this.
about it. So basically, Brad, he's a construction worker. He has sticks of dynamite in his trunk. I don't know if he allegedly.
Allegedly.
God.
Because they
Accusation
Here's
is
his
that?
first and last name.
Oh my God,
yeah,
Patrick. That's
allegedly.
Did you want to give his address too?
Yeah.
This was years ago.
You're doxing him.
That's okay. We'll go back into that. Anyways, so he decided to. There was these kids. So we lived in a really shitty neighborhood, obviously. So
we
there was
were-
these kids across the street that would throw M80 firecrackers at people as they walked by, and it was a real dick thing to do. So they were just trying to do it to be cool. So we were like, well, fuck it, let's show them a real explosion. So Brad takes off a half a stick of this thing. So it's borderline a pipe bomb. I'm not saying that it is. It was just it's what he did for his job.
Allegedly, it was a pipe bomb.
Allegedly. So it was just a large piece of firework, right? Let's just go with that. So he puts it in the middle of the street, and I'm filming. I'm up on the side of the road. There's like a hill that's been there, and I'm standing there recording on his phone. He lights in the middle of the street, and he just does this little woohoo, and he walks off, and the thing goes off, and the camera flashes. It is the loudest thing I have ever heard. The floor on the ground cracks. And all the car alarms go off. That's all the video is. Like, you can hardly tell that it's us. But we were at home. We posted it online.
So you guys posted basically an act of domestic terrorism online, and fucking got on Tosh.0 and never had any legal repercussions from fucking.
I didn't do anything. I just filmed it, okay?
I think you're guilty
I
by
just filmed it.
association, sir.
I never told him to do it.
Dude,
We
I
just
grew up.
did it.
I grew up making. Well, my dad did it, and he's dead now, so he can't get in trouble. When I was 13, when all this happened, but he would show me how to make like legitimate bombs that we would blow up in the backyard and all kinds of shit, like a works bomb. I won't tell you kids how to make it, but it involves a 2-liter and cleaning supplies. And you could bury this thing. We buried it in our backyard after we had made it. And we had this rock pathway going back through the back of the house. And we took one of the rocks up and dug, like, we had a 2-foot hole pre-dug that we just buried it in real quick, put the rock back on it, and shut the sliding glass door and waited inside of the bar area of the basement. And it takes a good long time for all the pressure to build inside of this bottle and for it to eventually, like, actually explode. And after 15, 20 minutes, like, nothing had been happening. We're just sitting there by the door, and at first, like, waiting with our ears plugged, like, traditional, waiting for a bomb to go off type of shit. And then after 20 minutes, it was like, oh, it's probably a dud. Like, fuck, dude, it's not working. We give it another 5 minutes. Like, nope, it's not working. Me and my dad are just sitting there in the bar. Like, we go to, like, put our hand in the door to open the door to go out there to go see what's going on with this thing. And as soon as my dad's hand touches the door, ba-boom, there's like a mushroom cloud in the backyard, and fucking the rock just goes flying. It's not an actual mushroom cloud, but the rock goes flying. There's fucking dirt everywhere, just smoke going up in the air. All the windows in the whole house fucking rattled hard. I thought that they were all about to break. They were just like, and the fucking windows almost like came out of the panels. We cracked one of the windows upstairs from the explosion because there was like a greenhouse area that we had set up directly above it. I don't know if like rocks and debris had hit it or whatever, but my dad like went out there to go fuck with the rocks. So what if he was like 5 minutes early and just blew his hand off trying to?
That's fucking crazy. But that's why that's why he had that stuff with him, is because it's for cracking boulders to get out of the air, because he does construction. So I think he had a license to do it. Obviously, he shouldn't have done that. But when he did that, like we got messages like later on throughout the week, like, dude, your video was just on one of those like montage clips for that. We just saw Brad. I never got to see it, so I can't say for sure that it was on there, but everyone else said it was on there, so I'm just going to say that.
Well, I have Amazon Prime, so I can watch it.
Well, find it and then tag me, because I'd love to see that shit. So, anyways, let me get back into the house, so that way you get an idea.
And you were
Full circle.
damn.
So, you go in, all right, and there's the kitchen, and the kitchen only has an oven that only broils. All right, it doesn't cook or
It
doesn't.
only cooks the top?
Yeah. So we were all so broke, we would like put pizzas in there, and the bottom would be all
Broil
soggy.
a pizza?
That's all we could. We're broke as fuck. All right.
I can fucking tell,
Yeah,
bud.
no shit. So we put the pizza on there, and it's like soaked on the bottom, and the whole top is black. We ate that shit all the time. It was horrible. So the basement.
Don't brag, Pat.
And
Why didn't you tell your
it turned
landlord
into
about
a bad
the-
thing? Like, we
the
ate it all
oven?
the
It tasted-
time. It was
yeah, it was a big
horrible.
deal. Look, times have changed. All right, I had a tough moment. Okay.
Why didn't you guys tell your landlord about the oven?
Yeah,
we
right.
did. We did. He
They
just
live with
wouldn't do
15
it.
people, and I bet 14 people
Yeah.
of those 15
Speaking
were
of
what?
ladies.
That's
Where
actually
did
it.
12 other people sleep?
That's
It's
what I'm trying to
still
get to.
unaccounted for.
I'm trying to get to it.
They probably had 9 dogs and 12 people living inside.
We had
there.
a fuck ton of dogs.
Yeah,
there.
I guarantee that landlord
go
comes
on-
over and everybody's getting booted to the fucking
Damn.
side of the street.
I should have. You know what? For a future guest, let's have someone that I lived with there on
Yes,
this podcast to talk
absolutely.
about all the crazy shit that happened.
And how gross it was.
Oh my god, it was gross. So the basement that we lived in, I lived with another couple down there, and then I had my cardboard side room. But let me just tell you, it was there when we got the house, the room. So there was the only room with a door, and I was like, I'm taking that room. Fuck y'all. And the whole floor is just concrete. And the walls look like fucking solid with pipes hanging out and shit. And the windows are all boarded up. And there's like a cellar door in the end. It was some trash. But yeah, lizards would get down there and in people's beds. And you'd wake up to people screaming, oh my God.
People's beds. Multiple beds other than yours, right?
Yeah, people's
so
beds.
Some of the 12 that are still unaccounted for
Yeah,
sleeping down
so
there?
where they're at, no. It was just 3 of us down there. Everyone else slept in the attic, which the attic had only 5 feet of walking distance on one side. And then it had horror on the wall, spray painted, misspelled HORE. And that's where everybody else slept. And they separated everything by curtains. We didn't give a fuck. It was really weird. It was a
Dude,
weird
I would
situation.
rather sleep on the street.
Nobody
I don't
want to
think
just
you
add
would.
a W to horror on the
Yeah.
wall so it was
Otherwise,
spelled
it was
right.
spelled
Stupid.
correctly.
Yeah, it was just so stupid. It was so stupid how he spelled it. But yeah, lots of weird shit happened there.
Pat, do you have
That's for
any
sure.
other infestation stories that you want to talk about before we get to our guest?
No. Have you ever
Good
lived through an
Lord.
infestation or a horrible situation like I did that traumatized you and think about it every day?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh, unfortunately, you never
I would
had that
say-
life
yeah, I'd say that was
experience.
fortunate. If
I
anything.
like to think of those shitty times as a good story, which is why I laugh at it now. Funny in hindsight.
So, Sophorn, you're about to go to E Forest.
Oh
Or
yeah,
whatever.
we're leaving tonight at 3 in the
E-Forest?
morning.
Is that electric forest?
Yes, it is.
Can
it's
you
my
guys-
4th year.
For those who don't know, will you describe what that is?
Paradise. It's just a giant electronic dance music concert.
Oh, right on.
and a bunch of bass heads go and everyone does a bunch of drugs and dances and is naked and it's beautiful.
Is it in the forest?
Yeah.
Okay.
hmm
Gotcha.
The entire thing's in the forest. They have a bunch of like natural sculptures and stuff they make out of like the forest and everything. It's super cool.
I've seen pictures and that shit looks insane.
Pictures never do it justice. You
So-
go there and it's like a dream for sure.
So you said you've been there 4 years.
This is my 4th year.
This is your 4th year. Do you have any good stories?
I have so many good
love to hear
stories.
some.
Let's get into that shit.
My first year, I gave someone CPR while I was on a lot of hallucinogens.
Why were you giving them CPR? What happened?
We were walking to a show. I don't remember what it was, but I was on, I think that was like 6 tabs at that point.
God
so I was just
damn.
on a whole different level, and this guy just passes out, and like the girl he's with is screaming like he's not breathing and stuff. And I just got certified for CPR, and I was like, oh shit, like this is my chance, I can do it. And I gave him CPR, and he came to it. Medics came, and
Do
last
they
I
tell
saw
you in
him.
the CPR handbook that you have to be on 6 tabs in order to perform it properly? For those of you that don't know, 6 tabs is 6 hits of acid. Like she's on a fucking tremendous. That's like most of a 10 strip you're taking. Just blip. I hope that it's not super powerful.
Oh, God.
It's all
I'm
good.
so sorry.
It's just a coaster that fell.
That's
Oh.
all right. Just leave it there.
But anyways, so was
Yeah.
the dude was overdosing and shit, and you had to.
I
Fucking,
have no idea. He was just fishing out, doing weird stuff, and then she was screaming, and I thought that was like the first thing I should do, and that was the first day we went.
They don't have
Did he-
trained EMTs. They just people on drugs are walking around like, I think he needs
Yeah,
help.
yeah,
On
what was the
6 tabs.
situation? Were you just like in this area with these people coincidentally, or did you know him and then he just like went
No.
down and you're like, oh my God. And
Yeah, I didn't know the guy at all. We
Oh,
were
so
just
did he
walking
die?
past. No.
Oh.
That's a different story. That's like, that was.
How many times have you had to rescue somebody because they don't have any fucking EMTs at this
Well, they-
drug and lights festival? Because that's what it is, drug lights and bass. Like that.
Well, they have like medical tents and all of that kind of stuff, but when you have like thousands of people there, it's really hard, and
Yeah.
there's so many drugs. But second year, that was a more intense story, and my friend wasn't feeling too good. We both took random drugs from some dude we didn't know.
Right.
And
Always a smart decision.
yeah. And at that point, that was second year, so I was probably on like maybe like 4 or 5 tabs, and then we ate some boomers too.
Right.
And
Boomers are
boomer?
mushrooms for the listeners that don't know.
yeah. And she started feeling weird, and I was like, okay, girl, like, let's go to medical. Like, don't overthink it. We're not going to go party if you're feeling really weird.
Right.
And we went to medical. She started passing out and stuff. Things weren't looking good, and so they sent her back to the bigger medical tent, the main one.
Are they on drugs too?
No. Those are just workers. I guess they know what they're doing. I don't really know, but we get there. I'm trying to help her out, whatever. I'm calming her down. We're singing stupid songs so she can, like, come back to earth for a second. And she starts dozing off and everything, and then all of a sudden, everyone starts screaming and yelling, and I look over, and this guy's getting carted in. Half his face is blown off.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Did he get in front of
What?
like one of the pyrotechnics displays or something?
All I know is that they were messing with fireworks at the campsite, and
His face was blown off.
half his face was gone, man.
Like you could see skull,
No, it was just like,
just muscle.
Fleshy.
A bloody
It was
fucking
like-
amoeba on his
yeah,
face.
just fleshy, goopy shit.
What the
Ugh.
And so
Oh,
he's screaming and
God.
yelling, and everyone, they're trying to calm him down. They're putting like IVs and stuff on him. My girl's sleeping, and I'm just sitting there like, holy shit, what do I do? And the dude starts yelling for his friend, and I cannot remember what he was saying at all for the life of me, because I was on whatever type of level I was on.
You're on the spaceship with
Like,
Jesus
I'm sorry,
at this
it's just-
point. Like,
It's a lot.
yeah.
But basically, he starts yelling and screaming, and they're trying to calm him down and sedate him and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, he's yelling for his friend, and then he grabs my arm and, like, yanks me towards his cot. And I'm sitting there like, holy shit, what do I do? Like, I can't look at this guy's face, but his other eye is just staring down into my soul.
Was his other eye there?
Yeah. The other side of his face was, like, perfectly fine. It was like he was, like,
He looked like Two-Face from Batman?
yeah.
Oh my
Kind
god,
of.
that's
Fresh
intense shit.
Fresh toothpaste.
Yeah, except for his, like, his... It was just like this part, so just his eye and his like upper
She's
looked like
covering.
Phantom
She's
of the
covering.
Opera.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera
Yeah.
mask.
Yeah.
The
and
blood.
basically he starts yelling, and I'm telling him that I'm his friend and that it's fine. He's going to be fine and everything. And he keeps screaming, saying, like, don't leave me. Like, am I okay? You need to call my mom. Like, blah, blah, blah. Starts saying all of this stuff about how, like, saying his, like, last words to his mom to me. And I don't know this kid, but he thinks I'm his friend or whatever. And so I sit there with him, and I'm trying to calm him down. And, like basically, they had, like, a little heartbeat thing with him, and then that starts flatlining, so the doctors are screaming and yelling because half of them don't know what's going on.
Because they're not doctors, they're
They have-
college kids.
Hopefully
that
not
are
on
probably
drugs.
also on MDMA and fucking mushrooms. And they're like, what do we do? We're about to see somebody die.
Where's his face?
Well, that was what was happening. Like, one of the nurse people, I guess, was like, what do we do? Like, and then the actual doctor, I guess, came by and was trying to do whatever to him, and then they were telling me to get off of him, and I was like, I can't, like, he won't let go of me. And, like, I don't know, he flatlined, and then they got him back, and then they were pulling him out of the medical tent, and you heard the ambulance sounds coming to the medical tent, and then they rolled him off, and that's the last I saw of him.
Oh my god. You watched somebody basically probably fucking die and say their last words to you while you were on an alien spaceship inside of your mind and being probably being probed in the brain, like, as
Yeah,
you're
man.
fuck that.
Holy
fuck
fuck.
that shit.
Basically, that made me think
And
of
you're-
Saving Private Ryan.
And you're going back for seconds on this festival, or for fourths? This is like your fourth helping. Did anything like this? So this was the first time you had to give CPR. The second time somebody died. What happened the third time?
Yeah.
Does anything top it?
Oh, well, the third time was a wonderful time. My other friend started feeling weird. She dosed too much, so dosing, like, too much acid.
Weak.
And so I took her to medical tent because for some reason I'm like mama bear when it comes to festivals. If someone needs to go to medical, I'm on it. I know how to talk to them and make sure they're okay, come back to earth or whatever. And we go there. She's calming down, and all of a sudden 3 girls come in. They're talking to us, like, saying, hey, are you feeling better? And we're saying we're feeling better, whatever. And they tell us that there's this, like, secret place to go to. And I'm like, what are you talking about, secret place? And she gave us this little dog tag and was like, go to the phone booth inside of Jubilee. Jubilee is a stage. And go all the way in the back, go into the phone booth. There's 2 phone booths. You go to the one all the way to the left, and you pick up the phone. You ask, like, what's the riddle? And then somehow some girl will pick up the phone, tell you a riddle, and won't let you in until you know that riddle.
If I was tripping balls, I'd be so skeptical to do all this. So wait, you're telling me I have to take a dog tag to a phone booth and then talking to the phone booth, solve a riddle, and then a man underneath a bridge, he'll open a secret gateway to Harry Potter, and then like.
But that's what happened. So we figured out the riddle.
What was the riddle?
I don't remember what the riddle was, but the answer is rhubarb pie. And
You
we
told me.
You knew that?
yeah,
I don't think there's ever an instance where I would know rhubarb pie.
It would never come out of my brain ever.
Yeah.
we figured out the riddle. I told it to her. All of a sudden, the wall in this phone booth thing opens up, and this girl that's dressed like she's a flight attendant from the 30s or something, says like, how you doing, darling? And she has the accent and everything, dressed up really pretty. Then she's like, come on down, opens this curtain, and at that point we're just tripping and we're scared, but we want to do it because when you get a chance to.
I'd be scared out of my
Yeah, this
fucking,
is fucking crazy.
mind.
I'd be scared sober.
This is bananas what you're telling me right now. Like, I can't imagine this sober. I'd be like, what the fuck is going, let alone 4 hits deep and like inside my head super bad, like trying to figure everything out in my mind around thousands of people and shit.
Well, she opens this red curtain, and it's just a dark, creepy black hallway, and then a spotlight pops up, and it's a receptionist desk, and so we're gonna go. We walk down for whatever reason because we thought it was a great idea. And another flight attendant lady comes up to us, says like, hey, how you doing? Like, can I get you a drink, darling? Saying all these and calling me honey and stuff. And she was super smoking. And so she talks to us, asks her name, tells us to sign in, then opens another curtain. We walk into this curtain and we sit down. There's a bar. There's a guy that's dressed up as a flight attendant and like the co-pilot, and then a bunch of other flight attendants everywhere serving drinks. And apparently if you flirt with one of the flight attendants, they'll give you a free drink. So me being...
Yeah, you're working your magic.
me being a little hoe, I was like, okay, tight. Like, let's get a free drink.
Working that thought magic.
And so I talked to her. She gave me a free drink, whatever. Then we all sat down on the couch, and all of a sudden the lights dim or whatever. And it goes back on, lights flash, and then a burlesque show happens. And we...
What is happening
How
in this electric forest?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Inside of this phone booth, it was like a whole new room.
That's crazy.
And
I can't even get my mind around
I
this.
know. I'm trying to think about it
What the
now.
fuck is happening right
I
now?
don't get it. This
I
sounds
don't
so
get
sick.
it either,
You
man.
say
And I
it's
was
like a dream.
there.
It sounds like a dream.
Yeah,
It sounds like they want to
doesn't
fuck
sound
up
real.
people's minds while they're on too many drugs. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you came to the medical tent for
You came to
assistance.
the right place.
Freaking out. Let me send you to a place that you'll never be able to explain sober ever again to anyone, no matter how hard you try.
Dude, coming back
It's
to
like
the tent,
LSD, basically.
coming back to the campsite and trying to explain this to the rest of our crew was so stressful because they just didn't understand it. We're like, no, we need to show you.
I wouldn't fucking believe you. I'd be like, she lost her marbles. Like, it's all over.
She was just
cheese
in a
slipped
like
off
curled
her
into a
crackers.
ball and rocking back and forth somewhere.
But yeah, so the burlesque show happened, and I don't know, it was magical. Then they escorted us out. I got out, and we didn't walk out of the phone booth. We walked out of some picture taking booth or whatever, and then we were back into like regular Electric Forest crowd. And then I caught word that there's more places like this, and there's 7 more, and you have to find little gems. Oh,
It's okay.
sorry, little gems to get you in, like
the
dog
tag was
yeah.
the first one, and then you got to find a horseshoe and a.
Like
Are they
Are they
there.
Horcruxes?
Dude, I would go to this
crazy.
place just to experience
A lot of
the
people do
nonsense.
that.
Not even for the music, just to experience the nonsense.
A lot of people do that apparently, and I had no idea.
I need to step my game
So
up.
you
I
say people run around naked, like
I for
So
sure
what do
run
you-
around naked.
okay.
Especially when you're on psychedelics, sometimes you just want to take your clothes off and like
Yeah.
be naked. I don't know. I've definitely had that feeling before.
Yep.
Yeah, but then there was one where you would go to this like cross-dressing clown thing or whatever, and they were dancing, having dance battles, and if you won the dance battle, then they would take you in the back, and the back was like some other place. and you would meet the captain, and he would give you another thing to go to another place to see another secret show.
Was it all different? Like one's a burlesque show, one's some other.
One was
type
a
of weird
brothel.
show? So it's all like sex
What?
industry
Yeah.
based. Like every little like. How many of these did you get to go into of the 7? Did you visit all of them?
There's a brothel.
Come on, bud, a brothel. Like, you
But it
gotta
wasn't-
fuck 7 of the whores there,
They-
and you'll get a stone to go to some other
What do you
place.
mean?
Yeah,
They said
what?
it was a brothel, but it wasn't really a brothel. It was just sensual ladies reading poetry to you. Because
What? Having sex with
That's
you,
a
or-
weird definition
No.
of a
Are they-
brothel.
They
That's
called
the
it.
wackest brothel I've ever heard in my entire life. I got the Hannibal Buress face at that brothel right now.
Whack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they called it a brothel. We got in, and the way you get into that one is you have to talk to this guy. He says a riddle. You go through a chimney, and then you knock a certain amount of times, and one of the bricks opens in its eyes.
Wait,
and
you have to
then-
Santa Claus down an actual chimney?
No.
What the fuck do you mean?
have to knock a certain amount of times, and on which brick?
Yeah, and you walk down another creepy aisle, and then there's a bunch of pretty ladies that read to you sensual poetry.
Are they all naked while they're reading this to you too?
No, they weren't naked.
Okay, I'm just like, I don't
Unfortunately,
understand.
what kind of brothel is this?
Of the worst kind of brothel?
Those are the only 2 we went to, because after that, it was too much for my brain.
Yeah,
I
no
would
kidding.
demand more. I don't like the weird shit I watch and like to do when I'm on LSD. I would demand more. Like, I need to experience all 7 today.
Oh, it was super bizarre.
You get into
I
the
feel
next
like
one,
I would
and
have
it-
to. I would have to finish
Without
all
a
of them.
doubt. I would become obsessive at that point. For sure.
God, like where the fuck is this going? Like how deep does this rabbit hole go?
About
I
to
don't
fucking
know.
Sherlock this
I bet-
fucking forest.
What else do you see there? Like I'm okay. This is gonna be a really. I feel like everyone wants to ask this question, but no one's gonna ask you. So when everybody's walking around naked, all these dudes have fucking boners the whole time?
No. That's the thing about the forest.
always-
I
I've always
did
been
not
curious.
want to ask that
I
question.
didn't. I feel like only Patrick had that question. He was like,
No,
"So
listen.
wait a second, I want to know
He's like,
about the hard
I
dicks
have
going
the
on in
weirdest
Electric
boner
Forest."
right now. Can you help me justify that?
No, what I'm curious of is like all these people who walk like nude beaches, for example. Like I don't know. I'm just curious. Wouldn't that ever? Why wouldn't they?
I feel like it's different because at the forest, everyone calls each other like forest family. And with that, it's like, it's never been a weird situation where I met a weird dude because I was naked. Because so many people are, and everyone just kind of like loves each other. Just a bunch of gross hippies dancing together. It's never been an awkward situation for just being free.
That makes sense. It
Now,
seems like
how
every place.
unbearable are the fuck smells by day 4? Like hot, sweaty, tent sex. I bet the fuck smells going on would make me soft like deli meat in about 4 seconds. I'd be like, I'm out. I'm done.
Is the forest floor like covered with KY jelly bottles?
No.
You're telling me that
Definitely
4
not.
days of sweating, dancing, running around on drugs, and fucking living in a tent doesn't produce the worst fuck smells in history by the end of the forest? You are lying, sir.
Oh, I have no idea because I'd be on too many drugs to even comprehend what smells were.
That, you know,
I feel like it would just be
speaking-
permeating the whole festival.
Speaking of smells, I have another video.
Oh, great. Can't wait.
It's not as bad as you think. So these people are on an airplane, and behind them, I don't know why. Of course, the video's not playing. 1 second.
More roaches, Pat?
God, on an
You know
airplane?
what?
Good
It's not
Lord.
playing. But basically, these people are like recording people behind them in the back row of this plane
Oh,
fucking.
jeez. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
God.
They're
Okay.
fucking?
Yeah, like hardcore fucking. Like
There we
she's
go.
sitting on his
Right
lap
there.
and
Oh, my.
going straight
Really?
to town, like giving no fucks. Just sitting in the
Go
fucking
for it, dude.
airplane.
Why not? They're
What a
probably
bunch
having
of
the time of their
maniacs.
lives.
They have no one else in the back seat behind them or next to them.
Wow.
Dude, fucking go for it. But I mean, at least have the decency to try to get the bathroom. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's the Mile High Club. I could tell.
I hope
You-
they're
dude,
ready to
you'd
get
have to
arrested by
try
the time
to
the
get to
plane
that
fucking
club.
lands.
That's what the club was called when you got into those secret rooms, was the Mile High Club. On the little dog tags, that's what they were called.
Good Lord. That's why they were dressed up like flight attendants.
So,
Mystery soft.
so the music it starts. What happens then?
What do
Like
you
what? How crazy is it getting? I
You
just wanna
fucking
know.
dance, man.
Yeah, but-
Everyone just gets wild.
Who had the
It's-
craziest performances?
Nectar, Bass Nectar has always been all of our favorites.
And is it the music or
great.
the light show or just fucking everything?
It's just the environment around you and everyone being there and just feeling the way you are, and all the lights are getting crazy, and they have air balloons of people sitting at the top and acrobats going from the air balloons and stuff. Like, it's a lot to comprehend all at once, especially if it's your first year.
Right on.
But I really enjoyed it. My favorite performance will always be Edward Sharpe and Magnetic Zeros. That was spectacular. I don't know how to explain it. But so there's a song called Home, and him and the other singer would like tell a story about whatever, and they were sick of telling that story, so they went into the crowd and asked them to tell their own stories or whatever, and this girl got on the mic and said the most beautiful one out of all of them. Everyone in the crowd was sobbing. She said that she was in the psych ward and there was songs that they wanted to play, whatever, to make you feel better and more lighthearted and more positive, and Edward Sharpe was that one, and because of Edward Sharpe, she didn't kill herself. And everyone was sobbing.
That's powerful
it
shit.
was so beautiful.
Do you think she was a plant, though? Do you think that they knew what she was going to say and they had her in the audience and they knew like to walk up to her?
Oh, come on. Don't say
They
that.
do shit like that all the time at these festivals.
It was
though.
too beautiful. It was
That's
too
why
beautiful.
it's not, because it was too perfect. That's why I'm so skeptical. Maybe I'm
I
a
don't
jaded
know.
fuck, but I really like. You really think that
Come
in all
on.
these
You
YouTube
sound
videos
like
to
a
go
conspiracy
No,
theorist.
listen. So whenever they have these YouTube videos where they go viral, where Kendrick pulls somebody up on stage and they're just like the new fucking like whatever rapper, like they're the new Jay-Z on the microphone immediately. It was like, come the fuck on. Like,
I
you
will
didn't
say
pick
I
a
kind of
random
agree with
person.
Cody, but I mean I also agree. I think I agree on both sides, because my first concert I've ever been to was Green Day, and it was their last American Idiot show they ever did, and they brought some random girl up on stage. Someone completely random, quote unquote,
Yeah.
and said, all right, I need you to play this song. And she played it like perfectly, as if she's been playing guitar for like 10 years or some shit. I'm like, okay, that doesn't make a lot
Or
of
they
sense.
put a 10-year-old kid on stage,
Yeah,
and
a
then he's like,
10-year-old.
here, you take the guitar. He's like,
Yeah, he shreds like
perfectly in time. Yeah,
oh my
like,
God.
what?
But I
What?
also believe strongly that you have a moment at concerts that just speak to you. You know, that you're just there and you're just like, wow, this is powerful as hell. And I'm sure you experienced like that when you went to Slayer, but
I
just in a
did.
different form. But you don't have to be a dick about it.
Yeah, don't be a dick about it, dude.
There's
I
also
listen
moments.
to Slayer too, but I'm not a dick about it.
There's also moments where they try to make it a powerful moment, but they really just make the concert a real fucking drag, and you just
Oh,
want them to shut
no.
up and play music.
You know what? I really want to go to a Kanye West concert.
I absolutely don't.
Yeah.
I
me neither.
absolutely
I
don't.
feel that, man.
Not
You do?
even- No, I don't. Not just because he's obnoxious, though I am a fan of his music. He's obnoxious. His fucking fans are the most obnoxious of all.
What makes him so obnoxious?
Abs-
I guess I don't know.
Dude, they think his shit smells like roses.
So, like, they actually picture him as this quote-unquote god
Yup.
that he says he is.
So you mean you don't want to hear that poopity whoopity scoop song live in person?
Actually, I would go just to hear that song.
Like, all right, I heard it. I'm out. Peace.
I just want to hear the crazy. I don't care.
Poop-de scoop de whoop.
Scoopity poopity whoopity scoop. I thought it was a troll. I didn't even know that was really this. I was like, get
I
the
thought it was
fuck
fake.
out of here. That's not really
It's
the
a
song.
real song.
Nope, that's the
I
real
have never
song.
heard this song before.
Can we look it up?
It's like
No
2 minutes.
way.
It's like
Can you
2
play that?
minutes of like
We can play it, right?
of
Yeah, we can play
something
it. Why
else
not?
that's not him. It's some other fucking audio, and then the last 45 seconds of the song, he comes in over another beat that interrupts the original song. You know, for the first 2 minutes, and he just goes poop de scoop de
Hold
whoop.
on, I got it.
Poopity scoop de whoop de poop.
Oh my god, it's the worst, trashiest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Like, really? Like, you're so lazy at this
And he
point.
fucking put it out, and he's just claiming he's the greatest of all, you know. And his fans are his fans act like he's the Beatles.
I hate Kanye West. Like, I hate his music. But, like, people have tried over and over again. Nah, dude, you just don't appreciate it because it's the fucking... You gotta listen to this song. And then they play the other song that I haven't heard yet. And it's garbage still. And I'm like, I don't understand why people fucking like this
I'm
guy.
with you.
I'm
I'm
with
with
his
you.
old
I
music.
totally agree.
Hold on.
New Kanye
I don't
sucks.
think
I like his
I'm
old
missing
music.
anything here. Like, I don't think I'm missing anything. You got it, Pat?
Dude, if you ever listen to The Food with Kanye and Common, that's a good-ass song. Common's
His
great.
old shit's great.
I like Common,
Absolutely.
so-
His new stuff's way, but old stuff's great.
Play that shit,
Yeah.
Pat.
Yeah. This is 10 hours of poopity scoop.
We'll try to make it through 2 hours of it.
This is real?
100%.
I mean,
Alrighty.
that's a 10-hour version, so I don't know if it's exactly how it is, but I mean...
No, that is
that it?
exactly how
That's
it
it.
is, but it's
Oh,
for like the
no.
last
Is that scatting?
45 or 30 seconds. No, that is not scatting, dude.
Scatting?
If you want to hear scatting, you look up the scat man, Charles
Can you
Manson.
scat for me?
Absolutely, I could not scat. Dude,
That's the worst
scatting
form
is
of music
terrible.
possible.
110%.
It's horrible.
How bad are the drum circles at the festivals that you go to? Do you ever get annoyed by kids out there banging on bongo drums out of beat?
There's not really any drum circles,
Really?
honestly. There's a giant gong thing that people go to.
People bring a fucking giant zildjian gong out into the middle of a forest.
There's like 50 of them that sit in this little square, and what you do is you sit in the middle of it, and people just hit these gongs while you sit there and just feel all the vibrations.
Whoa.
Oh, it's like
That sounds
it's like
wild.
the same
Oh,
thing
shit.
where they rub that stone around the
It's
stone
really
bowls and
intense.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
just feel it like your whole body just rattling. It's so
Oh,
weird.
I'm sure on drugs that sounds
fucking-
fantastic. Yeah, I completely get the attraction now.
Where do they do this festival at?
Rothbury, Michigan.
That's not that far.
Yeah.
I just shook my head in agreement like I knew where that was
It's-
at. Like, oh, Roxbury. Of course. How could I forget Roxbury?
It's like
of
6
course.
hours away, so it's not too bad of a drive for a festival, but it still kind of sucks.
Pain in the ass.
It sounds like it might be on the list along with the gathering.
I was about to say, you never go to the gathering?
I want to go to the gathering.
I'd go.
I got some Juggalo friends.
I would
and
never-
they invite me all the time.
It is not
Do they?
happening. I would not.
Absolutely, and they've got fantastic stories at the gathering.
I think that would be very fun to hear.
Everyone that I've ever like all the documentaries I've watched of people going to the gathering,
American
they
Juggalo.
they always walk away with like kind of the same sentiment. Like, yeah, it's a bunch of like kind of trashy people, if that you want to call them that, like doing lots of drugs, but they're all really nice. Like everyone treats you like your family there. Like there's no judgments. Like, so I mean, I know juggalos are like people have all their opinions, but I have heard they're nice people.
Yeah, all the retards don't judge each other. Isn't that nice of them?
I've had fantastic time with my Juggalo friends every single time. I talk to them often. I've done a case of whippets with them
Oh, well,
Oh,
Luke, yeah, you're really
okay.
selling me on juggalos here.
All right, hold on.
by myself.
What happened there? How
Oh,
did that happen?
So I just went there to hang with them after we got wings at Quaker, and then there's like some smoke shop in their area called High on the Hill, and we went there because they were gonna get a new piece. One of them was, and they decided to get a case of whippets for the cracker that they had back at the apartment, and
The cracker is the whipped cream container that you screw whippet canisters into. Anyways,
yeah, and we got balloons and we got a case, and then the other Juggalo was just like, well, I mean, I might as well get my case, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll get a case too. Why not? I'll try a few. So this wasn't my first time doing them. I didn't expect to do the entire case, but I did the entire case.
that's why
But-
they call it hippie crack, because you just can't stop doing it after you start.
I did mine in what I would assume, even though it's absolutely not safe moderation. Like I would do one capsule at a time. I would whip it, exhale, get my 30-second giggle and extreme high, and then I'd be done, But these fools would fucking do like 3 capsules in a balloon, blow that bitch up, inhale and exhale in the balloon over and over again till it's all fucking gone. And then they would just like...
Did you just see their eyes roll
transport-
around like bingo
Yep,
ball hopper
yep.
eyes?
They would roll right in the back of their fucking head, slouch forward, like moan, like...
Oh God.
Sounds
my
like a
God.
party.
And you would talk to them, and you would think they're fucking dead, like because you're trying to get
Because
a
they
hold
just
of them.
melted their brain.
But they fucking they're still there. Like they'll throw up their finger mid slouch,
Okay.
to let you know, like, hold on, I'm trying to snap back to reality. It's a whole lot of fun though, hanging out with juggalos. I might have to say, they
It
get you
sounds
to
like
do
an
some.
experience.
It is. They get you to do stuff you don't expect.
Yeah, you ever smoked meth with a juggalo before?
No, but I mean, if one offered. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's how you made it sound right now, Luke. Like they could convince you to do heroin. They're good people.
They're fantastic people. I love the juggalos.
Oh my.
Whoop whoop.
Please stop.
You're alone in this, Luke.
Dude, I'm bringing the Juggalos on for an episode one day, and you guys are going to be fans. We're going to change the public eye on Juggalos.
I feel like you're gonna come back next week with the Hatchet Man tattooed to your cheek and shit.
Oh god.
Oh, dude. Actually, we set up an appointment to do just that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. We
Right
should
on
get
his
into that
forehead.
after the break is over because we're right up on our first break.
All right.
All right. Well,
Should we wrap it up there then?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Peace.
All right, we're back, and we left it on. You were saying that you were scheduling an appointment with her. You're actually a tattoo apprentice, right?
I
Okay.
am.
So you're like an artist. So as an artist, I want to know how you feel about a couple different types of art. The first one that I want to get into is performance art. And I've got a little video example pulled up that I actually mentioned last time on the podcast.
Oh,
so
God. Here we
the
go.
drummer. He's known as the best drummer, or one of the best drummers, up there with like Hellhammer in the black metal community. And he's from the black metal band Satyricon. But he does this live performance piece. And I'll let the video speak for itself. I'll set it up a little bit. The performance is called Kill Me Before I Do It Myself. He's got these religious like pictures hung up, and he's got a torch, and he's blowing fire onto them to set them on fire to this crowd full of people. I think he's in corpse paint.
Burn for art.
And they've got this like weird atmospheric music going on while they're doing it. These pictures are just burning off the sides of the
It
walls.
looks like fucking Temple of Doom.
And now he's got this white sofa. He blows out the torch that he's using to spit fire.
I have no problems being self-destructive if the whole thing is something that I like.
Okay, so he just takes this ritual dagger and starts carving this sofa apart while there's this fire coming down from the walls and shit, and they're playing this eerie, creepy horror movie music.
Are people paying for this?
Yeah, hold on, wait. It gets worse.
Oh my god.
Dude, he is so fucking black metal.
Okay, he sits and holds his arm out, and he carves his
Oh,
left arm
God.
up the river,
Come on.
all the way up his wrist. Since my last resort. He cuts his neck open.
Fucking just do it, bud.
What in the fuck are you
Oh
doing,
my
dude?
God.
What are you doing?
He's crossing the line.
And then he bleeds out onto the sofa.
Does he die?
No, he's still alive.
Unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a great drummer, and Satyricon's a great fucking band. But, Sophorn, how do you feel about this sort of performance art as an artist yourself?
That is the dumbest shit I have ever seen in my entire life. Are you kidding? How much are people paying for this?
I don't know, but I assume it was a lot.
Oh yeah, that's
That's
fucked
ridiculous.
up.
That's too much.
Any amount is too
man.
much. I wouldn't watch that for free almost. And I saw it
For
in this
But that
free, I
should've-
would watch it. For
Yeah,
free, I
for free,
absolutely
yes.
would watch it. For money, absolutely not.
You would go and see this in person. You'd watch someone slit their throat.
Now, to be
I
honest,
would watch this maniac for sure do that.
to be
crazy
honest,
shit.
I don't know if he actually fucking like
If it was
charged
real?
anybody if it was free. No, it's real. Look at it.
Well,
Did it look
regardless,
fake?
that's not
It,
art.
definitely, it didn't
Straight.
look fake. It looked real.
He's carving himself up.
That's
for
not art at all. You're just having a fucking mental
Dude,
breakdown,
you
my
don't-
guy.
You don't understand
Yeah.
art, dude.
Did you see the did you ever see the video of the college girl that has all these people gathered in this fucking room, and she's sitting like crisscross applesauce? She's got a can of like SpaghettiOs, and she takes a can opener and tries to open it. And let me tell you, this girl has never opened a can of soup in her entire fucking life. She starts and stops this can about 1,000 times before she eventually like gets it busted open, almost cuts her finger opening it, and she gets it open, and then everybody just looks at her like and looks at each other like, what the fuck? And then one person is like slowly clapping, looking at everybody else, and then they all start awkwardly clapping. There's so much fucking trash ass, garbage ass art out there. Like, it just makes me mad. I was watching. This is like what I wanted to actually get into though. So there's these how-tos on how to make abstract art.
Excuse me?
and it's
That
not
doesn't make sense.
So listen. It's not just like you just fucking you put paint on the canvas and make like, which is what it should be. Like, oh well, I take enamel paint and I put it in my butthole and
You
then I
have to have
fart it out
trauma.
onto the canvas and then that's how I make it, which is like what it all looks like to me. That's what it all looks like to me. You took a baby, you covered it in paint, and you smeared the baby on the canvas, and that's how you make it. But no, the MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art, this super distinguished museum where like there's all these fucking crazy expensive ass like paintings up there. They have this dude in studio at the museum like explaining so pretentiously how to like, I'm gonna show you how we paint de Kooning, and it's literally like he just like red paint all over the wall, and he was like he would actually do undersketches. We used technology to look under the paint, and we could see if there was charcoal undersketches, and normally you would closely follow the undersketch. The undersketch is squiggly lines that a third grader can draw, and it's nothing, and then he paints over it completely differently from the underpainting, and he just starts like scraping shit off. Here, let me get it pulled up. Somebody keep it rolling while I'm getting this other video pulled up.
What's wrong with people?
But it's-
what is step
I just
one
don't get
trauma? Like
I don't get it.
I don't understand.
Hold on, I almost got it.
Almost got it.
We just went to the art museum and we saw a bunch of this modern art, and it
Oh
looks
my
like
god.
shit.
Did you go to the CAC?
No, it was just the Cincinnati Art Museum.
Okay, so look at this super high produced video. This dude's all pretentious with his beard and his fucking and his whole
Shiny-ass
palette.
head.
He's like, first we will set our palette up, and he just squeezes a fuckload of paint and like turpentine and mixes it together. Okay, now it's paint. And then he's like, here's how you make a fleshy tone. First you start with buff titanium white, then a bit of red for warmth, a bit of yellow, and green for depth. And he makes like some murky ass, like he didn't even try to make that. And then he's like, I'm going to show you how we paint it. Oh, wait.
I can see his pain.
Is it the concept of making a how-to abstract art video completely fucking redundant?
Look, he's teaching people how to make squiggles with fucking paint, like teaching them. And the worst part, the fucking worst part is coming up. After he gets this fucking paint on there, he says this.
First of all, is this very artificial line coming straight down here. Now, when I was painting, that didn't even occur to me. I was so close to the canvas. But stepping back, there's a very linear element of all these different gestural marks.
So
Commit
he's-
suicide.
I can kind of
So-
see a giraffe in it though.
What he's talking about right now is there's this very artificial line, and I didn't like this. de Kooning would step back from his paintings and really observe the lines that he'd make, and he'd use these long brushes to make these very careful, intricate strokes, and it looks like he farted this out of his asshole onto the canvas. What the fuck is this? And how do you fucking, with a straight face, teach people how to do this? Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, surely this dude's classically trained, because the gimmick behind all these abstract painters that I'm sure 1,000 people will come out of the woodwork to say, actually, they all know how to do everything. Like, they could paint realism and they could paint this and that, but they were so complex that
Fuck
they,
you and that accent.
that they fucking, well, I'm just like, these are the people that fucking do that. And then they're like, but they chose to paint these fucking, like, abstract paintings. And I was like, well, they should go back to doing the other things, because this is dog shit.
When we saw
That's
the art at the
garbage.
art museum that had the abstract art, there was people in the description, like things they would say about it. Like that's the only thing they could get out of the artist about what this is about. And they would, a lot of them would say, I had a religious experience
Oh my
painting
Lord.
this. And I'm just like, what the fuck?
There was one where it's literally 3 blocks of color, a red, a
That's
blue, and a green block of color. And I forget the name of the artist that used to do this, but the same guy is breaking down how to paint these 3 blocks of color. And green, red, orange, done. But no, this motherfucker, he was like, actually, he would make underpaintings where he would start with a purple, and then he would, with very translucent coats of paint, add orange slowly over the, and you would think that he would paint this in about all of 40 seconds, as the rest of the rational world would. But no, this painting in particular took him 6 years of process to stare at, and it's 3 blocks of color, this motherfucker. Like, and they're breaking down their process and like how they do it, and I'm like, the whole time I was in my like bedroom just screaming, I fucking hate artists. I hate them so much.
Goddamn.
I hate artists, and I'm an artist. So
Well, have
like,
you seen that painting where it's all white and there's a red dot in the middle and it's sold for like
Minimalist
billions
art?
of
Are you
dollars?
fucking kidding me?
Have you seen
Ridiculous.
that? It's horrible.
No. Whoever
That's-
Can you
spends
look it up?
billions of dollars
It is-
for that fucking painting should get shot in the mouth.
type in minimalism, because it's what she's talking about,
It
where it'll
is-
just be like, if you pull up minimalism, it'll Google image search that shit,
I
and there'll
feel-
be 1,000 examples of, and it sells for the most exorbitant amounts of fucking money. That's what makes me mad about it. It doesn't make me mad that people do this. It makes me mad that people buy it. It was like, would you buy third graders fucking drawings? No, so don't buy this horse shit and hang it on your walls and act like it's meaningful, and you would have religious crying experiences staring at this shit.
It's literally just the name of the artist itself that's tagged to it.
Yeah,
really. It must be.
Did you guys find
But
the
that's all they
minimalism?
really paint. I don't know. It's really fucking weird. They got to know that they're just fucking people over when they paint this shit. There's no way they're actually like, oh my god, this is a masterpiece. This little dot in the middle of the white.
I bet you they fucking knew the kind of scene that they were in, and they were on a deadline, and it was just like poke.
Hold on. I'll just type in
deep. This is fucking deep, right here,
saying,
bud.
Say what?
You were about to say something?
No. I can't. When I look up minimalism, I'm having a hard time finding.
Well,
It's just a
friggin'
red
no.
dot painting.
Well,
That's
it's
it.
fucking whack, is what it is.
It's awful. And it's
Minimalism
sold-
is mostly like negative space, but like they drew hands, or look, he drew fucking lines going all over the place. Wow, how complex! And then he does triangles inside of each other in a gradient, or two faces. Like, what the fuck is this, man? Like, as a person that spends, dude, I spent hours of
such
my
a hater.
life putting. No, I'm. Fuck these guys. I spend hundreds of hours on paintings to make it look like, in my eyes, perfect. And I've put a lot of hard work and dedication into it. And then people are like, I'll give you $50 for that. Meanwhile, they're buying like diarrhea splatter paintings for fucking hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it makes me want to bang my head through tables.
I have people who just expect me to draw them things
For
and like
free.
commission pieces for free, and then I'll say like $20, and they're like, "How dare you?"
I hate those people.
Someone,
like, it's my money. It's my time. Time is fucking money.
for sure.
Someone recently asked me to draw a whole Sonic the Hedgehog sleeve for them.
Oh my god!
And they said, then they had the audacity to say right after that, and I'll toss you a $20 bill. You know, I'll toss you a 20.
How
I was just
about
like,
$150, my friend? Like,
was
I'm
like, what
not.
the
I don't
fuck?
even want to do other people's tattoo shit because tattoo artists want to draw it. You don't like. As a tattoo artist, what would you rather? Would you rather draw it, or would you rather somebody come in with a pre-drawn? Like, they don't know how like anything as placement works on the human body. They don't know how things translate to tattoos. Like, they have super small, fucking intricate details that don't translate to tattoo. Like, it
and you
just turns
can't
into
do
a
certain
blob.
things. Like, and people don't understand that is. We're not just people that know how to draw. We have to learn how your skin's gonna look in 5 years. It's not
Pull this
gonna.
mic up towards you like this.
You have to learn like how your skin's gonna look in 5 years, and you can't have all of this really, really tiny lines clustered together and think it's gonna look good, because it's not. It's gonna look awful, and then you're gonna complain about it and want touch-ups and this and that, but you just don't want to listen to your artist, and it's super frustrating. And then people bring in artwork that they want, or I've had someone come in and say, "Hey, my tattoo artist drew this for me, will you tattoo it?" And I'm like, "Why aren't you going to them?" They're like, "Oh, it's too expensive." And I was like, that's not how this works. That's so rude. And that's their time they put into it. I can redraw it differently and make it my own, but I'm not going to take someone else's art. That's not cool. And then there's people who are just so headstrong about it.
I get pretty frustrated when people look at my shit. I was just talking about this earlier today, where it's like people look at my shit and they're like, "Wow, I like that. Will you paint me something?" Absolutely. "Hey, I found this other guy's painting on the internet. I want you to paint that for me." And I'm like, I thought you wanted my art. Like, I don't want to fucking copy somebody else's art, but sometimes I get broke and I have to whore myself, and I'm like,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
try to change it and make it my own the best as possible, but I've done that before, and people are like, "This is not an exact replica of," and I was like, then go fucking buy a print of the exact replica of the thing that you want. Don't ask me to paint somebody else's shit. And like, why? Like, if you like my shit, come for my shit.
Yeah.
Like, don't fucking ask me to do somebody else's thing.
I don't even know how many times I have drawn infinity signs and mountain, like one-line mountainscapes and little hearts and stupid shit
A
all the
feather
time.
disintegrating into birds.
But then they're like, "Oh, but can you make it special to me?" And it's like, what? How am I gonna do that? Everyone has this tattoo.
I
It's
want
really
a dream
simple.
catcher in it.
Like, I want a letter A, but it has to be specific to me. And it's like,
what are you talking
what do you?
about?
No, that's not how this works,
And I
guy.
want it in Times New Roman font, but it
Yeah.
has to be specific
Comic
to
Sans.
me. Yeah, exactly.
Oh God!
Can you put it in veranda for me?
It's awful. People just don't understand that you put so much time into the tattoo. Like, the tattoo could take you 5 seconds to do, and you're paying me like whatever $100, and that's because of the time it took for me to actually draw it. But
How
no one thinks
frustrating
that.
is that all white tattoo trend, like where it's all white ink, like
Stupid.
everything that they do?
I have convinced everyone that comes in not to do it.
Because it disappears and it fades into yellow. Like, it all
It's-
doesn't it just turn yellow after a little while?
It's
and
like
then
a dirty dishwater color. It's disgusting. And it's like, why do you want that? They're like, "Well, my parents can't see it." And I'm like,
Oh.
Then don't.
Please go away, leave, get out of here. And then they're always the ones that don't tip, and it's like, Jesus Christ, man, I don't want to tattoo you if you're gonna do that.
Just get a henna, dude.
Yeah, at that point they have white henna now, and I just don't get it. There's a lot to tattoo, and everyone thinks it's like always fun all the time and everything like that. It's definitely not. There's a lot of crazy people that come in, and it just gets so frustrating.
Where do you work at currently? Do you want to plug your shop or anything like that?
Yeah, I work at the Pike Tattoo Company. It's in Cold Springs, Kentucky, next to NKU. So, I mean, you can imagine the crowd we get.
It's all college kids, drunk as fuck. Like,
Well,
they always want
All
their
infinity
fucking...
signs.
Could you tattoo your name on my butt?
Oh, God.
Like, yeah,
So
sure.
what are the weird
Speaking
requests?
as someone who has been
$600.
tattooed by her, I can recommend her for sure.
Let's
Thank
see your
you.
tattoo, big guy. I haven't even seen it yet.
Oh, you want me to take my
Ooh,
pants
take your
off?
pants
All
off.
the way off.
Poppy.
Come on. Let's see that.
Luke is taking off his pants.
Did you get it on your ass, sir? He's like...
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's hard to see. You got your whole hand in front of it.
Luke has his pants off, everyone.
Ow, ow!
Oh, right on.
Right on.
What's the character?
Apom.
Apom, since Luke isn't on mic. Okay, right on. How long does it take to do something like that?
Depends how the person sits. It depends how big they get it, all of that. I mean, we spent
5.5.
5.5
And
hours
that's a single
on it.
session?
We did the line work first, and then we did the color and everything. Because he came in and did the line work when I was still really, really fresh into it. So I was still learning everything. And that was pretty awesome.
True shit. How long have you been an apprentice for?
At the end of June, it'll be my year mark since I've been in the shop. So hopefully soon I'll be a tattoo artist. But I don't really know. It's just kind of waiting on my boss to be like, yo, you're good enough. But there's a lot I still have to learn.
Do you work for just shop minimum right now?
I'm working for like regular shop prices. There's just some specific tattoos I can't do.
Gotcha.
Like I can't do a giant sleeve, even though people are like, "Oh, will you draw the sleeve for me?" I'm like, "We have other artists that can do that for you." And they're like, "Well, I want you to design it and tattoo it." That's not how that works. I'm still an apprentice. You got to give me some time.
Right.
So, but Luke's piece is one of the biggest colored pieces I've done so far.
It looks
That
really
was awesome.
vibrant. It looks good.
Yeah,
Thank
it's very
you.
vibrant.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks awesome.
So I went on my rant about abstract art, but you seem to fucking hate it as well.
It's fucking stupid.
What's the worst shit that you've ever, like, have you ever had somebody ask you to draw or make some fucking horse shit like that before?
Do you know this whole craze about ignorant tattoos?
Not at all.
What's
Oh
that?
my!
What?
Oh.
Let's get into this.
Save
immediately.
my soul. I have done so many of these ignorant tattoos, and it's exactly like its name. It's supposed to look like it's a stick and poke, really shitty, shaky lines, everything like
Oh,
that.
I've been seeing this all over the internet, and I'm just like, why does everybody have so many shitty tattoos
Wait,
all
like
of a sudden?
Post
People-
Malone face tattoos?
Yes, people come to the shop and ask for these stupid tattoos. I'm like, okay, well, do you want me to redraw it? And they're like, no, I want it exactly like this.
Like
And
Lil
it's
Peep tattoos and shit?
Yes.
Why the fuck?
Awful.
That's like the new
awful.
trend. These kids with like crazy amounts of money get the worst fucking tattoos on their face.
It's supposed
And
to
I'm
be
like,
abstract and cool, and it's supposed to be this like cool little punk stick and poke tattoos, but mommy and daddy are buying you this tattoo.
Yeah, there's
Like,
nothing cool about it. It used to be cool because you didn't have the money and your
Yeah.
friend did it in a basement with a fucking, like my uncle
With
had
your
all
40s in your
stick
hand and
pokes.
shit.
Yeah, they would take RC car motor parts and then they would take a guitar string and sharpen it. India ink, like prison style tattoos. Like I've got fucking a couple of those tattoos. Like all my tattoos look like
I've
that.
got
Like,
two.
Yeah, I got-
and not because like I want them to look like that or I'm happy with my tattoos. I was 17 and I wanted tattoos, and my mom was
Yep.
like, "Not until you're 18." And I was like, "My friend has a tattoo gun. Let's fucking do it."
Yeah.
And it was, I mean, it was a
I'll show
mistake.
you.
I shouldn't have done it, but that's what these tattoos are. But now it's like a trend to get these tattoos. Like if I had access to real like good tattoos and I had money when I was 17, you best believe I wouldn't have this shit on my legs right now. Like it would be like legitimate
100%.
good looking fucking art on me. Like I just did what I like. But like you said, their parents are fucking paying for it. Like what
That's
do you
the thing, but their parents pay for it, and what blows my mind is they'll come in, get this stupid tattoo, and of
Can you
course,
give me an
like,
example?
so I'm sure if you look it up, you can see it. A bunch of people have gotten this tattoo, and I really didn't want to do it, but I mean, you got to pay your bills. It was love, ignorant style, and the O was like a smiley face. everything is crooked, all the lines are all whack, and he wanted that exactly how it was. And I was like, listen, man, let me just straighten up some of the lines. Let me at least make the smiley face a little better. No.
Here's my
Headstrong.
worst tattoo. The one that I got drunk, that my friend did drunk, that fucking fucked up thing that's right there. Is it anything on that level of shittiness that they've
Oh,
come
no,
in
it's
asking
worse.
for?
That's pretty
Worse than
good
that?
compared to that. Yes.
I'm picturing like that episode of Jackass where Steve-O was in the buggy getting tattooed, and that's what it is like. You know?
If you give me a piece of paper, I could draw it in 2 seconds. Exactly what it looks like. And I just...
And they want it on their hands and their neck and their fucking face all the time. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, this is like, if you have like a weirdo job or something like that, that's when you start, like, if you're a tattoo artist, that's used to be who fucking did it, or you were in a gang, or like you were a fucking biker, like a social misfit. But now, like, kids that are trying to go get fucking like college degrees and weird shit are like, tattoo my face, my neck, and my hands, but I don't have tattoos anywhere else. And it's like,
They don't want it
isn't
anywhere
this
else.
where you're supposed to like get to eventually after
Yeah, like
everything
that.
else has been filled
Yes,
up?
it's exactly like that. But that one's kind of cool, I guess. It's just the lettering that you see is how the love looked.
Good lord.
Oh, my.
How much did you
Oh.
charge her? Did you hit her like a fucking
No,
lick?
it was shop minimum. I don't, when it comes to pricing tattoos and stuff, even if I don't want to do it, I don't ever upcharge them because I would feel too guilty about it. I give them regular price for it. And on top of that, I didn't have to draw it, but I'm not going to say $600 for this shitty tattoo. I can. That's possible, but I'm not going to stoop to their fucking ignorant level, honestly.
Could you, just to keep them from ever doing it, like, you want this fucking dumb thing? Like, $300, bud. Let's do it. Do you really want it? Pay up.
Is it all these NKU college kids coming in asking for all this shit?
No, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of NKU kids that come in and they get amazing, beautiful sleeves. We just had a few people come in and they know exactly what they want in their sleeve. It's always gorgeous. It's so well done. Half of them don't go to NKU. A lot of our client bases are from NKU, and they're awesome kids. They've always been really nice. They're never rude. It's just the randos in Cold Springs that come in and they just want these weird tattoos. And
Is this like what you were talking about with ignorant style tattoos?
Yes.
The pictures that they've got pulled up?
yes, that's exactly it. And then like the Newport kids are coming up, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. Like, we're always super busy. It's just sometimes people need to understand that, like, get something that is beautiful and well done, not just because it's a cool fad right
Yeah,
now.
like-
Because you'll regret that later, man.
Get
Someone
something-
came in and wanted a dick tattoo, not like a tattoo of a dick
Mm-hmm.
on him because it was his first tattoo or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that for you, man. I'm sorry. And I hate denying money because it is money, but I'm not going to let you make a bad decision like that. Because he wanted it big on his forearm because he thought it was funny and it was impressing his friends and stuff.
Retarded.
I remember
Yeah.
when
Oh my
I was a
God.
piercer for a while, and I remember this one girl came in and she wanted her first piece to be her whole back done, 2 giant angel wings all shaded in, and she goes and she pays like everything down, and she gets one little line on her, and she stops everything and walks out
Why? Because it hurts.
because it hurts so bad. Apparently,
But it's not
What the
that
fuck?
bad.
It's really
like-
not that bad. I've described tattooing as if you have sunscreen and you get scratched on it. That's what I feel like tattoos feel like.
I tell
Sunburn.
people
yeah, some what I say?
sunscreen.
My bad, sunburn.
I tell
Sunburn.
people it's like when a cat scratches you really good and it kind of draws blood and it just kind of sucks.
Yeah,
That's
guys,
what it is.
get something meaningful like Gigi Allen did. Like, life sucks, scum fuck, like, live fast, die. You know, something you won't regret later in life.
Oh God!
What do
it's
your knuckle tattoos say?
delicate? Because I'm a fag. I don't know
I thought
why
it
I
says
did it.
something else.
No, it says delicate. I kind of wanted to get cucumber or zucchini because it fit, and I thought it would be cute. But then I realized I'm not a fucking idiot. So I don't know. There's a lot of people who come in with really cool tattoos, but the ones that come in that are bad, they're so bad. Oh God.
What's the worst one
Yeah, I
that you've
wanna hear
ever
some
had
of
that you've ever seen? Maybe not that you've done, but that you've ever seen somebody get up there. That they, like, the tattoo artist tried to talk them out of it, but they insisted on just getting this dog shit on them.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen something that bad yet to where I'm like, whoa, dude, what are you doing? But someone came in that had a stick and poke that was a house done tattoo, and he wanted it covered up, and it was really badly drawn stick figure, which I can't really comprehend how you do that. And he was fucking this other stick figure that had big old titties, and it had arrows pointing to you and then your mom. And it was huge on his arm. And he's like, I would like this reworked. I'm like, you don't want it covered up, my guy? Are you kidding me?
So you've done a lot of traveling, right? Mm-hmm. So where have you traveled?
We actually just got back from, I just turned 21. And we just got back from the Grand Canyon, Zion,
Wow.
Death Valley.
What was that like? Because it's a bucket list item for me.
It was the most beautiful experience of my entire life, honestly. I wish I could relive it every day. Las Vegas was pretty,
I hear it's all right.
Yeah, we had to go because it was my 21st, but we stayed for a few hours and just dipped because it was stupid. And we wanted to climb mountains and look at beautiful sceneries and be in valleys, because that's what you do when you're in like California and Utah and Nevada.
Zion is a place I've always wanted to go to.
Zion was
it's
so
one of the most beautiful
beautiful
places I've ever seen online.
What is Zion? How ignorant am I that I don't know this?
If you there's computer screen backgrounds that are based off like the canyons. Let me see if I can pull it up for you.
If you ever go to Zion, you need it's the third hardest hike, but you need to go to Angel's Landing.
That's
Where's
what
it
everyone
at? Like
tells
what
me.
state's it in?
Zion.
Utah or
I think it's in Nevada.
She
I'm
was
not
lost
sure.
in the desert, dude.
Yeah,
She doesn't know.
I was just going along with everything. It's gorgeous.
It's really incredible.
Yeah. Angel's Landing is only like a 3-mile hike, but the entire time you're climbing up this cliff, you have to walk like one step after the other because it's so skinny and tall. And when you get to the very top, that was the most exhilarating part because there's a boulder at the top of it.
What the fuck? Hold on. Go back to that picture and show everybody. That looks amazing.
Yeah.
yeah, the lighting's perfect in there.
Describe it. It's like a tunnel.
It's like a ton. Here, you
I
describe it
wouldn't
because
need
you were
to-
there.
I would need to
That's
be
called the
on drugs.
Narrows. So the Narrows is just you're at the bottom of these canyon cliff things or whatever, and you walk through a stream the entire time, and at the very end, it's like a 15-mile hike to get to the end, but
Worth it.
there's a waterfall.
Do you ever have to worry about flash floods coming through that area?
Yes, they have
That
signs
sounds scary as
everywhere.
How do you get out of that situation?
You
if
have
there's
to
a flash
climb to the
flood?
side and hope for the best.
Oh
Yeah,
my
you
god,
get
that's
fucked.
scary as fuck.
People die all the time.
Can you imagine getting to the basin and then just seeing fucking storm clouds?
And
Like,
Bo was-
oh no.
And Bo was down for that?
Bo was trucking, dude. She's a hiker. Oh my gosh.
I feel like that would have been something she would have
Yeah.
like counted
Bo is my
down
sister.
for sure.
And 15 miles is an all-day fucking adventure, right? How
I
many
didn't-
hours did that take
I
you?
didn't go all the way. I hiked maybe 5 hours in, 4 or
Weak.
5.
And
I
how
couldn't-
far did you get
I
after
have a
4
really
or 5
bad
hours?
back, so I couldn't
God,
do
that looks
it.
so fucking amazing. But it
Yeah.
just looks like you're at nature's whims
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, you're
But
gonna get fucked.
So I hiked, and then my back was doing really, really bad, and so I stopped. And most of the Narrows, you can't really see the sky because it's so high up, and there's a break in that, and just sunlight going down the Narrows and everything. And so I stopped there. I climbed up this little cliff, and I laid down and just took a nap and had my hat on. Whatever, everyone else walked ahead of me, and I woke up, and I shit you not, there was a butterfly landed next to me, and I was like, oh, that's really pretty. And I took my little hat off, and I looked around, butterflies everywhere.
Wow.
I honestly
you
thought
were in a
that I
dream
died. I
world?
thought I died. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You're describing a video game right now.
When I opened my eyes, the sun was so bright that it just like flashed your eyes really quick, so you couldn't see anything. Then I looked over and I saw the sun, and I looked over again. There was a little tree and butterflies everywhere, and I was like,
Wow.
"Holy shit, I'm fucking dead! Like, this is it. This is fucking beautiful. I wish I could die every day."
So
Like, I don't
Grand
know.
Canyon, what was that like?
Uh,
Oh well, shit.
I'm-
Well,
the
Well,
Grand-
there's
let's go
a
back
hole
to
in the
Zion.
ground.
Let's go back to
Well,
Zion.
at least
Yeah.
we know which is better.
See, the
Zion
Grand
or-
Canyon was beautiful, but it wasn't as good as everything else we saw. The Grand Canyon was more so just, it was really touristy. There wasn't time for us to hike anywhere inside the Grand Canyon, so we just like walked around in the sides and everything and saw it. It was beautiful. I really liked it, but Zion is my favorite national park I've ever been to, 100%. Like, Angel's Landing was so exhilarating. There's a little boulder at the top of it. everyone was like slowly climbing up and sitting on it and being really wary of it because there's 2 slopes on both sides and then that boulder and then like a little walkway for people to get on when they get to the top of Angel's Landing. And me and my uncle were sitting there and he's like, you should stand on the top of it. I was like, oh shit, you right? And so we book it on the top of this and we're putting our hands in the air and we're like yelling just because we're on the top of the world and everyone else is freaking out because they're like, you're gonna die. Please get down.
Now, was this all part of some giant road trip adventure that you had been on or something
Yeah.
like that? Just all. I have another friend that goes like fucking everywhere. He just gets in a van with like 5 friends and just bolts, and he's gone for months at a time. Just goes all the way to the West Coast and comes all the way back every once in a while. Lives out there growing weed, and then comes back and does like cool shit all across the country. Is that like what this was basically?
Yeah, but it was more so we had it more planned and secure because now that I have a job and everything, I don't really like to travel like that, like train hop and
Right.
everything. I don't really want to
train
do
hopped?
that. I used to.
What was that like?
How long were you train
What?
hopping for?
It was about a year.
What got you into it? Like punk rock kids or?
Let's just hear it all.
It's always punk rock
I know.
fucking
Get
folk
her-
punk kids with a banjo and a dirty dog with a bandana. Did you have a lot of those along the fucking way?
It was more so just I was in a bad state of mind. I was going down a really bad path, and I couldn't live with my mother anymore. And I was super young, and
How old were you when you
basically-
started doing this?
I was 15.
Holy shit! You were hopping trains when you were 15?
Yeah.
Is it? Can I ask like what kind of stuff happened when you do that? I've always been wondering.
What doesn't fucking happen, man? There's
Did you
That-
leave the state? Like go
yeah.
around?
That was the
Okay.
first thing we did was leave the fucking state, get the hell out of.
How did you know
Cincinnati.
which trains were going where?
The people that you go with, the people that I went with, they knew everywhere to go, and it
So
was
you had
awesome.
you had friends already with people who had
Yeah.
already done it. Okay.
Yeah, my friend just got back from train hopping, and he was gone for like a year and a half, 2 years, and that was my best friend. And I remember one day we were just sitting there, and I got a call saying Michael's missing, and I was like, "What the fuck do you mean he's missing?"
Oh my god.
Like, what? Because he called me every other day, but I didn't notice that he didn't call me for like a week and a half. And there's posts on Facebook, everyone sharing it, blah, blah, blah. And then I call a few people, then all of a sudden I get a hold of Michael really quickly somehow. And he's like, no, I'm fine. I was like, oh, true. And then he went, but then he goes missing again for like 2 weeks. And I discussed this with him last time. I was like, you need to call your mother and let her know. And when he got back, I asked him where he went. And he said that he was on whatever and lost. And he just ended up in a freight train box and lived there for like a week and a half by himself.
What the
What is it like? What is it like train hop? Like I want to know more
How do
about
you
like your
eat?
experience.
It's just, you're just homeless. That's just how it goes. You play music for money. I don't really believe in flying signs. I mean, people do whatever, but I just personally could never do that. Flying signs means like the cardboard box thing, asking for
I had
money.
a train hopper
beggars.
buddy that used to do that. He'd go down to Compton and he said he'd make like $600 in a fucking week. Like,
Yeah.
not in a
Whoa.
week, in a day.
Yeah.
$600 just sitting out there flying
No, they
signs
make a
all fucking
lot
day
of
long.
money. A lot of money flying signs if you go to the right places, but then there's places that don't really
He said he
want
made
that.
less money by doing performance shit, like trying to play a fucking banjo or some folk punk song. Like, he said that he would always make more money just flying signs and looking pitiful.
Yeah.
So
If
it's
you
like-
have a dog, then you're making bank.
Yeah.
It's
Hey, man, my dog's hungry. And that dog looks hungry because you're spending all that $600 on heroin and 40s.
Good lord. Good lord.
it's a lot. I don't know, but that's just my past, man. That
I heard you.
long gone. I don't want any part of it. I have my life together a lot better now.
It's really interesting shit, though. I'm
It
sure
very-
there was some
very much
hard
is.
times in your life. But
Yeah.
looking back, it's
There's
got to
always
be...
a come up. Eventually it'll happen, and then now I'm here. I have my dream job. I just bought a house. I just bought a car. Like, life's
That's
good.
amazing.
You went from hopping trains to home ownership. That's not usually how that story goes.
It was an experience. I don't know. I miss it sometimes, but I don't think I'll ever go back just because a lot of people like to glamorize it and think like, oh, you're free, you can do whatever you want. But it's like, man,
Money is the fuel for choices. And if you
Yeah.
don't have any fucking money, you don't have any choices. You just live doing what you can, where you can, and like begging for money. Like, I don't know, everybody that I know that has done it or lived that lifestyle, they always end up like like dead or like about to be dead or something like bad usually happens to them. Like they get robbed or they fall and they fall asleep on the tracks or something fucked up. Like I don't know, fuck all that
There's
shit.
a bunch of horror stories about that stuff, and there's other people that will rob you and beat the shit out of you. If you get caught on the train, that's a federal offense. Like,
Holy
Risky
shit.
there's
business.
a lot of
Did you
risk.
have any stealth missions on these trains? Like, did you have to like dip, dodge, duck, some fucking security?
Do you think this is a Steven Seagal movie?
No, it's not like that.
Do you think that Sophorn's on top of a fucking train fighting ninjas? Like as she woke up.
Who's to say she's not?
No, man, that was a long time ago. So it's just, I don't know.
If
It was
you told
never-
me you'd have to kill me type of situation.
No, it's just more so. It was like, it was a time that was not a time to be alive. And a lot of people think that's what it is. It's like you can do whatever you want, like no responsibilities, nothing. But at the end of the day, you don't have money for food. Then you're going like looking through the garbage and stuff like that. And people don't see that kind of sight. And then you have to go and shower in bathrooms or whatever, sneak in to go wherever. Then if you're camping somewhere and the cops don't like that, they kick you out. And there's always times you can just get arrested for being fucking homeless because they'll say you're doing something wrong. It's not as fun as people think it is. And then I get back and it's a really slow progress to get back into reality of you have responsibilities. You have to wake up at certain times. You have to pay these bills and everything. But at the end of the day, all of it's worth it because now I have all of this, and that was
And you got a
however many
plethora
years
of
ago.
crazy stories after it's all done with. Too. Like, you were stories for days.
Yeah.
You were definitely in a different mind state
Yeah.
when I first met you at Rivertown than you are now.
Yeah, because Rivertown. Fuck Rivertown, dude.
Yeah. Oh, but update on that place. This is the brewery that we talked about on Tim Soul's episode.
That they were worried about mentioning the name of because like
Why?
what?
Fuck you, Rivertown.
Yeah.
I can't, man. They screwed me, and they know it.
Do you wanna-
We worked there together, and I got super mad at an employee meeting, and I just didn't give a fuck about it afterwards. And I was telling her, like, up until the day I was let go, that this place is going fucking downhill. They're gonna lose this location. Like they were about to open Monroe. I was like, they're gonna fucking go downhill with that. They're gonna lose that too, and they've lost the location we were working at now. And I think what you had told me the other day when we were doing the tattoo that they were about to lose Monroe. Yeah.
That's what I heard, so
And
I
that
don't really know.
I haven't seen any of their beers in any Kroger's
They were-
or any shops anywhere anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, but I hate it. I loved that job so much when we were working together.
It was a lot of fun.
It was just all day fucking around and making food and just doing stupid shit. And then everything went
wings
to
out the
shit so
smoker.
quick. So quick went to shit. And basically what happened with me is I heard from a third party, not my boss, that they didn't have a job at the new store for me, and that I was going to get demoted. And I was going to have to drive 30 minutes longer to be paid less.
to make $2 less an hour type shit.
Yes.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
And they didn't want to tell me until I closed down the kitchen and moved to that location. So they'd have someone to close down the kitchen and work the kitchen because they knew I was going to quit if that was the case.
Wow, so they tried to super fuck you.
Yeah. And then I was told this news. I confronted them. They told me, no, we don't have that position for you. Sorry, dude. Basically, I'm shit
How
out
long
of
were
luck.
you there?
I was there for like a year.
Were you? Did we work there for a year?
I worked there for a really long time.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
You might have worked there longer than I did.
But
I worked there with Jordan Como. Jordan Como was let go. Then I was there, and then I brought Sophorn in. Then I was let go. Then she was in my spot, and then they brought in someone else.
yeah, it was tight
Fuck
though
that
because
place.
I hired somebody.
Damn.
She closed weekends for me. If I called off, she would have to come in. It was awesome. I was down for it. But then I couch word that you're trying to screw me over, and so I told her I just no call, no show, stopped showing up, and it turned into this whole thing where they took it so personally, and it's like I was the one that was in the wrong, but you were trying to demote me and not tell me until I already went there. So I don't really feel bad about that situation, and I don't know. Fuck
Sounds like a real shit show.
It was a shit show, dude. It really was.
It was fun while it lasted,
Yeah.
though.
And the free beer was dope.
Yeah, free beer all the time.
And eating wings right out the fucking smoker.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that job for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then things got crazy. But I'm going to plug the coffee shop across the street. I don't remember the name.
Are you still going there?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it's too
I was
far.
about to say, like, if you're plugging it, like, you must be close to these people.
No,
shit.
I bought 2 of their bags of coffee grounds or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm still drinking on it, but they had the best coffee and they'd come over all the time and give us free coffee. That was the best part about that job. And working with you was really tight.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Do we have other segments we wanted to get into?
Man to man.
Well,
If
do
it's
you guys
around
have
that
any?
time.
I have
We're
some.
at about 40 minutes, so it's up to you guys.
So this is our last section, which we like to call
Man to Man.
All right, so basically it's a question, would you rather, but we can
God.
make it whatever we want, and you have to answer honestly, as ridiculous as it is.
And Pat's great at this game.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
so I have some good ones I wanted to ask. Let me pull this up.
Can we have poop involved? Because we haven't had poop brought up this episode.
That's
Well,
true.
it's very
There's been
No
unanswered
poop this whole
servant-like.
episode.
Yeah,
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
we should
it's a
have-
load of
There was
horse
zero
shit.
So at the-
amputee porn either, so
What the fuck?
Thank fucking God.
Oh, so
don't
normally-
bring it up.
So you want to see some crazy?
No, you don't. You don't want
kidding.
to see it.
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
basically, man to man, I ask you whatever I feel like, and then it could be great or it could be horrible. Like you could be the world's smartest person, or you could have mad cow disease. But I can
Typically,
change
how he
it.
structures his man to man.
But
Okay.
this time, I decided to change it up a little bit, and I decided to say, "Would you rather own?"
Wait, did Rachel ghostwrite these for you, Patrick?
No.
Don't act like you wrote these yourself.
No, I wrote this earlier
Confirm.
today.
Young Rachel?
I did not ghostwrite these, though I
Okay.
do
Okay.
ghostwrite the
One or
majority
two.
of them.
One or two.
The
A lot of
majority of
the
them.
majority.
She's
of
really
them.
good. She'll come
One
up
or
with
two.
One or two. A
course.
lot of them, she says.
Okay, so would you rather own a aquarium with fish full of fruit salad instead of water, or would you rather have a lava lamp filled with beans?
A lava lamp.
You have to eat it too.
Wait, what?
You have to eat some of this stuff too, and just imagine when that.
Do I just
aquarium-
eat the beans inside of the lava lamp, or is
Yeah.
this mixed with the lava lamp juices?
I mean, it's a lava lamp.
The lava lamp
It's lava
juice is
jam.
just bean juice in
Oh,
this
so you're-
situation.
It's just beans replacing the lava lamp fluid.
It's a lava lamp full of bushes.
So
baked
you're
beans.
basically just telling her she has to eat some beans. I think
Yeah,
that's
I
not
would
bad.
But it's lava lamp temperature.
That's fun. I'll eat the beans, man. I'm
Beans are
not gonna-
great warm. Why
It's
would
probably
why
the
would that be a
correct
problem?
temperature to cook beans.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, whatever. That's
Gotta
it's your
eat
choice.
beans in a lava
Would you rather
lamp-shaped
eat-
bowl.
Okay, would you rather eat warm, delicious Bush's baked beans or a fruit salad with rotten fish in it that are dead? Well, Pat, you've picked another incredibly hard 2 choices to pick from, but I think I'm going to go with the obvious option.
All right, here's my next one. Would you rather shit in front of your mom or your dad
Oh, my mom.
Yeah, my
for the
mom.
rest of your life?
Yeah, my mom. My mom.
One up it again.
Every shit you
No,
ever have for the rest of your
100%.
life.
My mother, because my
Okay.
dad is a shit bag. So
Wow.
Well, then wouldn't you want to shit in front of him as like a punishment? Like smell it, you dog.
because seeing him would just, I don't know, make me too angry.
Angry
Can I
shits are
throw the
powerful?
shit at him? Is that a possibility? Because then I switch my answer.
Would you ever shit in your hand?
Yeah, depends on the situation, for
Of course I
sure.
would.
So let's say you were at a Jimmy John's. And they wouldn't let you use the bathroom.
And they're like, ma'am, that'll be $14.99. Hold on one second. Do you guys accept diarrhea as currency?
and
Is
they
this
won't,
fine establishment?
and they won't let you use the bathroom.
Okay, I changed my mind. I definitely would not. I'd rather shit my pants than shit in my hand, man.
Have you ever shit your pants?
No, I haven't actually.
Where's the weirdest place
I haven't
you
either.
shit?
The weirdest place.
Where do you shit at the electric forest?
Yeah,
Oh, dude,
that's a
I do it
good
in the
question.
In the
porta
electric
potty,
toilet?
and it feels like my guts are coming out. It's awful. Like, so there's this time me and my friend went and, I don't know, shit in the porta potties or whatever. We came back, and I was sitting there like, I feel like my guts are going to come out. I feel awful. That was a terrible experience because I was on drugs. And then my other friend was like, oh, I feel like I laid a golden egg.
What? What kind of description is
She
that?
said it was like a beautiful golden egg, and I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? There's 2 fucking types of people in this world, man.
Is your friend a mythical goose?
Yes. How did you know?
I don't know, but she is wonderful. She's so funny.
Do you have any interesting shit stories?
I think that was an interesting
Yeah, I
shit
think
story.
That was a
counts as one.
fantastic story.
A golden egg? What a weird fucking friend. Like a big old ostrich egg, like just comes out of your ass.
I don't really have many crazy shit stories except for that.
We
That
usually
was
talk
just
about it every
beautiful.
episode, so I thought I'd get through them all real quick. Cody, what's your man-to-man?
I don't have a man-to-man.
Let's see if you can come up with one.
Oh, Jesus. On the spot, I've got nothing, man. It's going to be horrible off the top of my head.
Are you ready?
Luke, you got something?
I've got one.
Oh, you've got one too?
Yeah, I
Let's
got
go,
one.
Luke,
Oh,
then you.
Shit.
Wow, yeah. Switch
Okay.
it up.
So, scabs.
Oh, God damn it, Luke.
Okay.
Every time. Oh, he gets so mad about amputee porn being played, but scab.
It's demanded.
Would you rather have
We heard-
scab gums
it
or
was
scabs
asked.
over your eyes?
It was asked. They wanted to hear more scabs. I'm giving it to the people.
Would you rather have scab flavored Trident gum?
No, but close. Okay, so whenever you want to do a drug, you have to consume a scab of yourself. So say you want to get high on marijuana, you have to pick a scab off of yourself and consume it to get that
How
high.
big?
If you want to
Consume it.
trip off of LSD, you have to rip off the scab and consume
Is
it.
this just like a
Does
constant
Scab per
scab?
tab, if you will.
Yeah, like whenever it just
keeps
it's a
forming in the same
constant
spot?
Scab, like whenever you need it there, it's there.
Does it hurt when you rip it off?
Absolutely. It feels
Scab.
exactly like you're tearing off another scab.
Oh man.
It's a fresh scab. You
Yeah.
just rip that off and bleeds again.
Or you got to go to the scab forest instead of the electric forest.
It's a forest made of scabs.
Forest made of scabs, scab covered trees, people covered in scabs.
How long do I have to be at the scab
4 days.
forest?
Four
At
days.
the minimum. 4 days. It's a 7-day event,
And
but
you
you have
gotta-
to be there for at least 4 days,
You get to trip on acid and stuff, but just know that
But-
everything around you is made of scabs.
including the LSD you want to trip on.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for the
Scab.
first
it's
one,
a scab tab.
for the first one, how long do I have to keep eating my scabs?
Oh,
For
it's
drugs.
one and done. Like if you're trying to eat some acid, you just fucking pop it in there,
Number
crunch
one for
away,
sure.
crunch away, or like swallow it with some water. You're fucking golden, bro.
The first one for sure. The second one, I don't think I could be in a scab for.
First one sounds like a nightmare. Can you imagine a tree
How much-
wrapped in
Oh,
scab all the way
God.
around?
How much-
pick it and gush?
This shit is making my asshole pucker up so tight. Like the Warheads guy, the mouth of the Warheads guy is like my butthole right now. I hate scabs.
Maybe you should
What's,
tattoo the warhead face on his
God.
butthole.
What's the least amount of money you would take to eat a bowl of scabby cereal flakes?
Scabby loops.
With Scabby Lukes. You have a bowl of Scabby Lukes and milk.
Scabbed
Heavy
flakes.
Luke's.
Yeah.
Is it just like the size of cornflakes?
They're
kind
like
of thing? A full
Cocoa
bowl?
Crispy scabs.
But you pour milk
Oh,
on them
no.
and they
Okay,
get
so
sucked.
imagine like the shape of a cornflake from
God.
Frosted Flakes, but then boom, it's a scab.
And then you pour milk on it and it looks like strawberry milk, but that's not strawberries.
Yeah, it's scabs.
No, it's bloody, man.
It's blood. It's
Oh no!
Scabby.
all the dehydrated
At
blood
least a
in the scabs.
million, man. At least a million.
At least $1 million?
At least
So
a
what
million.
if someone said they had like $20,000
No.
for you?
No,
Like, hey,
fuck you.
$20,000
Go fuck
for a
yourself.
bowl of
Tax
scabs.
free.
No,
Tax-free 20 grand. I'd do it.
I'd do it. For
I would
20
not
grand.
do that.
The whole can I
No.
can I projectile
100%
vomit after
no.
every bite? Am I
can't-
allowed to? It's so bad.
It would
Like after every bite, am I allowed to do that?
it would for sure be a Steve-O moment.
Yeah.
Every bite.
no, that sounds awful. 1 million plus.
How about this?
like-
Would you rather eat a bowl of Scabby Lukes or
Why
would
is it
you
Scabby Luke?
anytime,
I like it, dude. Just put
Oh.
my face on a cereal box with some scabs.
Photoshop coming soon.
Yeah. So
God, I hope so.
some Scabby Luke, a bowl of Scabby Lukes, full bowl with milk, or would you rather instead of wearing glasses you had to wear contacts, but they're not contacts, they're scabs?
Oh God, that sounds like a nightmare.
Do I eat Scabby Luke's just once?
Probably every morning.
Every fucking morning.
Probably.
Breakfast is part of a well-balanced meal.
But how nutritious are scabs, bud?
We looked it up.
okay.
Virtually
Wait,
not
so
at
are
all.
my eyes gonna look like scabs?
Yeah, it's a piece of scab over
Can
your
I?
eye.
Do I have an option just to not wear it and be blind?
No, because you have to drive and
Scabs are gonna make you.
Take
blind.
the bus,
your
my
job
dude.
is tattooing. You need your eyes
Scabby Lukes. I would eat a
You eat
bowl of Scabby Lukes.
every morning.
Yes.
With
They
the-
are-
I need my eyes as I
It's
need them.
Every scab that's on there in a Scabby Luke's is actually scabs from a Luke.
and it looks like Luke's face, too. So it's Luke staring at you in the bowl.
Don't worry, we got fun rhymes and riddles on the back of the box for you to answer.
Scabby
you would-
Lukes.
Now,
You'd have
would
some
you rather
Scabby
eat Scabby Lukes out of the box? You know, like you're having a Saturday morning, you're watching cartoons, you got your Scabby Lukes. Do you want a bowl? Do you want a bowl of Scabby Lukes and milk, or are you just gonna like right out the right out the
God.
cereal box bag? That one I think had a hair in it. Well, vinegary.
Vinegar
Well, that one had a zit in it.
scabs. Ugh.
That's fucking disgusting. And,
Like, oh, is that a gooch scab?
A gooch scab.
Scab. Can you imagine
Oh,
what a gooch
God.
scab would be like?
It'd have an umami flavor to it.
God.
Disgusting.
Is everybody about to puke yet?
Oh, dude, I could go on about scabs.
what?
Man.
Let's say.
Wait. She said that she had a what?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
what's
let's
yours,
fucking
please?
hear this, Soap.
Let's hear yours.
Do you
This is
remember?
my favorite one to ask people, so I know if we're friends or not if they pick the right one.
Oh, Jesus, we're having a test now.
Would you rather have nipples for eyes and eyes for nipples, or toes for a nose and nose for toes?
Definitely nipple eyes, I think, is where I'm going. Toes for a nose? That
But it's all of your toes on your nose. All of them, and then
sounds awful.
Yeah, I'd
and
say
then like
nipple
a
eyes.
bunch of toes on your.
I'm going
I would
A
go
bunch
for
of
that one.
noses.
I would go
I
for
like
the
the-
nose for toes. for
Really?
sure.
I
Yes.
think
But you know how stinky
Why would you
the
have your
ground
nose on the?
is?
Yes, that's
you
what I'm
could
saying.
imagine what you could smell. I like that.
Exactly. I could
I like
become the
that.
ultimate
Imagine what
detective.
you could
I'm
smell.
tracking.
You could
I'm
find
tracking
truffles
people
like those
and whatnot.
truffle pigs.
Yep. I would become.
It doesn't make you a super smeller.
Yeah,
just,
it does.
You just,
No,
I
you
got
just-
10
Yeah, it does.
I got 10 noses on my feet, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
that just
God.
increased my
Hold on,
scent
hold on.
capabilities tenfold.
Hold on, Luke. We got to think about this. If we have these 10 toes for a nose,
We can walk on our face.
no. Thumbnails. Or,
Thumbnails.
toenails. Toenails. What do we do about those?
Your toenails are still there, man.
We could let them grow and just like
Have a
cut people
horn?
with them when we have battles, yeah.
Have a fucking horn we can
Or a
peck
horn,
people with?
yeah. Oh, dude, I
I will
love
peck
it.
you with my toenails.
For sure, that one, without a doubt.
I think that's
No,
a
sure.
no.
Like you're
Here's
so
another question.
confident.
I would do that. Eyes for nipples
Yeah.
and nipples for eyes,
Why?
Yeah,
man.
I would
Yeah.
do
Because
nipples.
How do you wear-
sunglasses and cut some holes in my shirt.
Yeah, it'd
Yeah.
be so easy.
Easy.
But
Easy as
but you
fuck.
got like nipples poking out of your eyelids, and then your eyelids are trying to close around your nipples, and then you look like a fucking monster.
Yeah, but you
Ew,
could pierce your
dry.
eye
Wait,
nipples
you
and
guys
make it
are
look
talking
cool.
about having a horn. You're
Pierce
talking
your
about being
eye
a
nipples?
monster?
Well, look, we have
But at
defense
least-
mechanisms.
Yeah.
While we also are more sensitive. We have a sixth sense, basically.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, I think ours is great. High five on that. Yeah. So fuck you guys. I don't know. Think about this.
fuck you.
Think
No,
about how
you guys
shitty.
are so wrong.
No, think about how shitty
So
your situation
wrong.
is. All right, we have a defense mechanism when we can smell more things than you.
Yep, and walk on our
You
face.
have to
Yeah,
turn
but
your
can you
whole-
really without having to clean your nose all the time because it's so fucking dirty?
How does your depth perception work with all those toes in between?
It works fine.
Oh, dude. Okay, so
I
like,
like how
in
confident
my
Pat
head-
is. Like,
But-
don't be ridiculous.
But then
It's
you have to
fine.
think you're not going to be balanced very well either. So walking is just going to be
Imagine
awful.
yourself though when you have nipple or eye nipples, you're gonna have to turn your whole torso to look at things.
Yeah, you're gonna look like that fucking
How you gonna
monster from
drive?
Real Monster.
Yeah.
How are you gonna drive with your freakish horn that
Yeah, well,
hangs down?
I'm sure it doesn't get that
Dude,
long.
I feel like for people like me and Pat who are choosing this path, everyone's 10 toes on their face looks different. Maybe they're all lined up like a weird toe
No,
stash.
it's all
yeah,
no, no,
toe
no, no.
stash.
Or maybe they're bundled up to create a
Stop
super
trying to make this
rind- or a
cool.
horn.
They're
It
all-
is fucking cool.
You're gonna get a whole fucking
Fucking
facial.
awesome.
They're all bundled up to where your nose because it's replacing it. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
all bundled
they-
Oh,
up.
that's
Girl.
fine then. Yeah, that's for sure gonna make a rhino nose in the long run. Evolution, dude. Just give us 10,000 years of mating. It'll absolutely happen.
Fuck with me. All right. See what's gonna happen, guys. Someone punched me in the face. You're gonna get cut. You know.
You're gonna get annihilated, or you're gonna
Yeah, but
shatter
that's
my
like stubbing your
toenails.
toe. Who likes stubbing their toe, man?
Dude, my
Also,
head will
have
become
you
a
seen this-
superfoot. I'll just essentially be kicking him with a headbutt.
That's not
You know how sensitive your fucking nose is? Can you imagine bumping your nose, like your nose toes, into like the bed in the morning?
Can you imagine
Break your
breaking
nose toe?
Damn, I didn't think about stubbing my nose toe.
Yeah.
Dude, if I even get like flicked the wrong way in my nose, it's instant water in my eyes. Like,
Well,
oh
I'll just-
god, it fucking sucks.
I'll create a basic bare ground earth path in my backyard, and I will train my feet to grow calluses, and I will just become
You'll have
barefoot
disgusting
forever.
calloused
Nose-toed.
nose toes. And what if you're breaking out drugs with your friends and you got to snort? I'm like, hold on, fellas, let me take my shoe off.
Well, for your information,
fucking
I
freak.
find coke boring.
Get your no. That's not the only drug that you have to snort. There's plenty of other.
Well, I'm
snortables.
probably not going to do the
There's
other drugs.
psychedelics that you can snort.
I'm fine with acid and fucking mushrooms.
I like the idea of like you cooking food, and for you to smell it, you have to stick your foot above like a pot of pasta or something. Like,
But can you imagine like stepping in dog shit?
I know. I thought about that too. That
Dude,
kinda
there's
sucks.
but you're saying that like it would be an accident. With my 10 nose toes, I would smell that shit coming a mile away, sir.
Well, I don't think I'd be barefoot at all times.
Would
Yeah.
your-
What
would
if
your
you're
feet
if you're
fit
not
in
barefoot,
shoes?
then you wouldn't be able to smell all the dangers.
Well,
Yeah,
if
you
I'm-
smell
let's
the
say
thing.
I'm walking my dogs in the backyard.
You need your toes. You need your nose toes.
there could be dog shit residue.
You're gonna smell.
There's
where
gonna
it
be
is,
so
bud.
many smells though. Everything will be overwhelming.
To an untrained nose toe.
Oh no! It's like a regular human nose, but a bunch of them. It's not like how dogs' noses can't smell the difference from something bad and good.
So even with having 10
Yes.
noses, it doesn't increase my smelling capabilities.
I don't know, man. This is hypothetical.
What if we have a runny nose?
Oh no.
Good luck.
I
You're
guess we didn't
slipping
think of that.
That
everywhere.
means sinus. Oh, dude. If
Some
I
runny
get a
toes.
I
fucking
changed my
allergy, yeah, I
mind.
changed my mind. Just because of allergies alone. No way am I
Take your
gonna
socks
deal
off
with
and they're all
that.
full of
Wait,
snot.
Can you imagine sneezing out of your feet?
Boogers?
Oh, wait, that could for sure become
What
a
the
defense
fuck?
mechanism. We would start kicking boogers at people. Oh, dude, for sure.
defense
I'm
mechanism?
back at it. I'm back at the nose toes. I'm sticking with it.
I like it.
Really?
You don't want
man?
to lactate out of your eyes, Luke?
Oh my god, that sounds like an actual nightmare.
That sounds like a nightmare.
So does.
Imagine someone opening a door and then they turn around and they've got nipples in their eyeballs and
Can
then
you
milk
imagine?
just oozes down their
Ew, yeah,
fucking
that's
face.
Nightmare fuel.
And then they've got eyes on their fucking chest. They're like, help me!
Can you
Photoshop
imagine
coming
having
soon.
all of those toes in your nose and having like foot funguses and everything and them sneezing on their feet? I think
Yes.
that's more horrifying.
That does sound scary, but at least I have a human face
Imagine having a serious
with a
ass-
crazy nose horn.
You don't have. You
You don't have a
human
normal
face. What are you talking about? If anything, the person with the nipple eyes has the normal human face.
Normal-esque. It's closer to normal than nipple eyes.
No way, man. I
None
gotta
of this
say
is
no way.
normal.
I'm just picturing like us having a serious conversation with someone and our toes sneeze.
And then you just stop like,
Sorry.
bust me.
Leave snot all over the ground.
It gets on the other person. They're like, "Ugh."
Ugh, what the fuck?
Hardcore dancing in a fucking
And then
pit,
you look-
wiping boogers on people's hair and shit, just kicking your feet around.
You look down and say, "Oh, sorry," but you cut them with your horn.
Can you imagine having toe jam that close to your face, though?
God, I don't know.
Oh, dude, that's on my face though. I'm gonna keep that shit clean, dude.
You're not gonna put socks over your toes on your face?
Absolutely not. I told
not?
you, I'm gonna train them to get calluses.
You're gonna train your face toes to get calluses?
Yes, all of
Your
it.
toe sweat's gonna get in your mouth and shit.
No, it's not, dude.
Are you sure?
Yep,
It
there's
totally is. Yes, it is.
Yes,
There's a
it
no
will.
sock from our people, man. you put it around and you fucking tighten it. It's like
Can
a
you
sack.
scratch your eye with your nose toe?
Your face always smells like funky blue cheese or something.
well, he can't smell it, so it's not that.
Yeah,
bad
but
for
other
him.
people can. It's worse than bad breath. You got foot face breath.
Oh no.
So what happens when someone has a foot fetish?
Oh my lord. Oh my lord. I don't know.
Are they attracted to your face or your feet?
That's a
Both?
good question. Well, yeah, why not both?
Both?
I think that's where yoga comes into play.
Yeah.
This is officially our most ridiculous man to man.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And it came from a guest.
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
job.
that's very rare.
Yeah.
Woo! Most guests come up with some that are strong and some that are weak. That was a strong
That was
one.
great. I appreciate that.
I'm
Do we-
really disappointed with your answers. I'm with him. He knows what's up.
I don't-
Oh,
Eyes
I
and
was
nipples
on your
are
side
nice.
too, to be fair.
She
Wait,
knows what's
why,
up too.
though?
Eyes and nipples. Life would be so much easier.
It would be.
So much easier.
Okay, I fail to see why. How? You have to turn your
Well,
whole
you-
torso to turn. You can't drive.
I could take my fat man titties and like use them like binoculars.
Like a chameleon
Like
or something.
binoculars?
I'll use my fat old B cups to in the woman world. B cups aren't big, but for men, B cups are sizable man titties. And I pull the man titties side to side while I'm driving.
Good lord.
So what other benefits?
It's
I mean,
just
how are you-
I
wait,
feel
you're
like
gonna
life
move
would
them?
be so much easier.
You just
than-
want an excuse to get naked.
You're right, but I mean, I don't know. It would just be easier. You can hide that you're looking weird as fuck so much easier than having 10 toes
I feel like
on
you
your
look like a
nose.
freak with nose with toes on your face,
Yeah.
just wiggling
You are
back and forth.
And then
nuts
your
if
little
you think
sock
you look
on your
fine with
nose.
nipple eyes. Dude,
No,
we'll look
'cause
like
I will
Rudolph. You look like a
sunglasses.
monster.
Sunglasses. That's a
I don't know.
perfect
and then
point.
like sheer shirt for my eyes.
I'm
Boom,
just picturing
done.
my eyelids going over my
right.
nipple
No,
eyes.
there
and
won't be
how dry
eyelids
that
because it'll
feels.
have like your areolas there and everything. Your eyelids gotta go down below. You can't just keep eye
So,
dropping
In the
it.
movies, do they censor their face or their chest?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
There's no censorship in this world.
Yeah.
Free the
With
nipple.
eye nipples?
Hashtag free the nipple.
Free the nipple always. Life's just easier that way, but that's just me.
Right on. Well,
Right on.
do we have other shit that we want to get to, or are we gonna wrap this?
Do you
one up?
say like my eyes are down here?
That's a yes.
I don't know, man.
How do you wear sunglasses?
You just wear them.
Like a bra?
No.
This
You don't
is-
That's a
need a bra. It's
blindfold,
just
you
your
scrub.
nipples.
I'm just,
No, he means like
instead of-
Over your chest.
the ones on your chest.
yeah, like the
They'll have like a little hole cut out and it'll be sheer so you can look through it.
Or you get the big ridiculous ones that you used to wear for Halloween, like the ones that are this fucking big and shit, and you wear them over your chest.
you wear 'em over your chest.
And you fucking you take the back of a bra and you tie it to the other ends of it so that it stays firmly on your back. See, I have it figured out, Pat.
Wow. I guess you guys
God,
got
you're
it figured
a
out.
goddamn engineer. You should take that to the fucking Shark Tank.
Yeah, I'm sure Mark Cuban will shoot me down in about 4 seconds.
How do you say that?
Okay,
like,
so you're saying that you're marketing this for in case somebody were to have eye nipples. Get out. Just show yourself out. We're not even going to make an offer. The fuck was that?
No, guys, I'm trying to ask you for money for a
Who
surgery
booked him?
to move my eyes to my nipples.
Come on, guys. Stay with me here.
How does this not make sense? Well, this was a really fun episode. I
Thanks
learned
for
a lot.
coming on.
Yeah,
Fantastic
for
episode.
sure.
Thanks
I had
for
a lot
coming
of
on.
fun. That
Really
was
appreciate
awesome.
Well, right on. Is there anything you want to plug?
I mean, I work at the Pike Tattoo Company. I'm an apprentice there. We all have really good artists, and I don't know, we'll hook you up. Come hang out.
Go
It's in
get
Cold
tattooed by
Springs.
Sophorn.
I can
Yeah.
vouch for them. They're fantastic.
Where
It's
can
really
we follow
fu-
you?
My Instagram is Cambodian Cupcake. Facebook's just normal, but that's pretty much it. I just have a Facebook and an Instagram. But Cambodian
on.
Cupcake is where all of my tattoo work and everything is.
Fuck yes.
Check that shit out. Also, if you guys want to join the community of lovable degenerates, go to the Bastard Sermon podcast page or the podcast group. Is that
Yep.
what it's called? The Bastard Sermon podcast group on Facebook, and join it. And you can share your dankest memes and fucking experience horrific fight videos. One that we never even got to get to that
Shit.
Pat posted. Weren't we
Yeah.
supposed to do that? The ear biting video?
Yeah, we can save it for next week.
We'll get to it next week. All right. Anything else, you guys?
No, that's it.
Nope.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks. Jinx.
Cool.
Peace.
Peace
Peace.
out.
Bye.
Thank you for...
Are you fucking serious, Patrick? Thank you for listening to another episode of the Bastard Sermon. Luke's going to give you a whole list of places where you can find and follow and listen to us while Patrick sits here in agonizing, crushing embarrassment.
You can follow the Bastard Sermon at Bastard Sermon on Twitter. You can follow us on Instagram at the Bastard Sermon. If you want to listen to more episodes of the Bastard Sermon, we are on Stitcher, Player FM, Libsyn, iTunes, Castbox, and now recently we are on RockStarsGlued3.0.com. Check them out.
Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that shit.
But don't go to Twitter because we never update that shit because we don't give a fuck about Twitter.
Yeah,
Fuck you, Twitter.
Yeah.
As of now.
All
But
right.
that could change. At the Bastard Sermon. And if you really want to go to the Twitter, make that shit happen. It's at Bastard Sermon because some fuckhead took the from us. All right.
That cunt.
That does it. Anything else we need? Did you tell them we're on Spotify now?
Yes.
Fuck yeah.
All right. Let's go. Bye.
See ya, bitches.